Why? Is it a lot of rain? Is remnants of the hurricane there?
Yeah, like we're getting like
Oh,
severe thunderstorm warnings, and there was even a tornado warning not too
no
far from
kidding.
here. Yeah, it is about to, I mean, it is black out there. If you
No
see me,
kid. Really?
yeah, if you see me, if you see me,
Cower?
uh, I don't think we're gonna lose power or anything, but like if I suddenly leave and go into my bathtub and shut the door, that's why.
Was it you? I was talking to somebody from Chicago. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was another one of my buddies. And I said, yeah, then a tornado hit Chicago. Like, tornado hasn't hit Chicago in years. And then I looked up the article, and there's a picture of a tornado hitting downtown Chicago 4 or 5 years ago or something like that. Were you around for that or no?
I remember that, but that was not like a
Maybe
big
an
thing.
F1. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't a big deal. But no, I mean, you guys got weather out there. That's what now?
No, it's dude, sheets of wind. Like this is a hell of a way to start the day. I'm loving it.
How do you feel waking up this early in the morning with your Monster Red Bull there and your slick back hair and everything? You should form the Slick Back Middle-Aged Men Hair Club or something.
I got a haircut yesterday for the first time in 3 months. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Just the ends, because your hair looks pretty long still.
Well, I asked her to keep it long because I mean, I could like I know I messaged you this one time. I feel like our hair is one of our greatest assets. We don't want to make it too short.
Well, do you know why I'm growing my hair out long? The philosophy behind it.
So you don't look like Richard Spencer?
No. Wait, does he have long hair? I don't know. I don't really.
He's got the whole sides thing. And,
yeah. Oh, no. So during my cancer scare, which the masculine geeks at masculinegeeks.com make fun of me for having a cancer. Oh, I might have cancer, which you could tell they're your true friends when they make fun of you for potentially having cancer. Like, you're not going to get better friends than that.
I don't know. I'm your true friend, and I wouldn't die.
Yeah, but you're a nice guy, Chad. You have yet to upgrade yourself to weapons grade asshole like Vince, and even TJ is a bigger asshole than you.
I'm working on it.
Prepubescent TJ is a bigger dick than you. Yeah.
But I took your advice from a couple of days ago, which I thought was pretty good, and I did it. I felt weird about it, but I did it.
Yes, you did it. I'm glad you did. That's the first step. Anyway. So the reason I grew my hair out, do you know Day by Day cartoon Chris Muir, Muir?
You know what? I do. I've seen that before.
Okay. Yeah. So how many people do I look up to in my life, do you think? Aside physically, because I'm a short man.
I would
you know one personally, and they're very few. There are very few people I look up to. And you and I both look up to him, and I guarantee you can guess who he is.
Yeah, one of them is our friend here, right? In Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, Vince.
Vince, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The other, do you look up to our dentist friend, or is it
kind of? Yeah, this is not to belittle him and say I view him as an equal. No, I like him. I love him to death, and there's things I'm talking mentors, like because our dentist buddy is, I think, in the same lot with us. I think we're colleagues, but there are very few men that I look to as mentors who are older and wiser and have learned things that I haven't through my somewhat tumultuous life. And, Vince is obviously one of those. Military, went through hell. We don't need to discuss him anymore to keep his anonymity, but I really look up to, because he's been through more than you and I will ever be, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was just asking, is the other person you were thinking about, is that somebody I've met that you look up to?
No, I don't. Well, no. There's only a handful. Another one is my buddy Lloyd, which I don't mind mentioning because he is a hero. Got hit by an IED, and just a great man, and he'll be a better man than I ever will. There's another guy who's the parent of a friend I think we have in common on the Facebook. I can say it this way. This will keep it anonymous. Varmin's grandfather is a saint. A fucking saint. He is dude, if you ever met this guy, you'd feel so inferior because he could do everything. He could fix cars. He built houses. This guy built houses. And he's always like, he is the most masculine. I'm not talking to a physical strength type of guy, although he's certainly strong for an old man, but he is so manly in the wisdom and knowledge he has. So I look up to him too. But then there's Chris Muir, Day by Day cartoon. And was traveling around in Florida. That's where he lives. And he's like, hey, yeah, come on down. I think we met at an Applebee's over in his town. And this guy had so much wisdom and so much stoicism and insight that I was like, wow, this guy, I should learn something from. So during my cancer scare, of which the masculinegeeks.com made fun of, because let's make fun of death because they're complete dicks and I love them for it. He talked me down when I was like in a bad time where I was like, damn it, man, this might be it. And it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to implement it, like working out or dieting or anything like that. And so, so he's one of the few on one hand, mentors I look up to, and Chris Muir. Oh, so getting back to the hair, he told me this bit of advice. Give me advice. I'm not writing it down or nothing. I'm just taking it in. And he says, appreciate your hair. I'm like, appreciate my hair. He says, appreciate your hair. I'm like, but you gotta see him. He's got this full mane. He looks like Sam Elliott.
Oh, just yeah.
Big
hair
mane
down here.
Oh yeah. He's got a long hair. It's all white. He's just got this big full thing of hair. And I just said, why should I appreciate it? Because you'll lose it. I'm like, you haven't lost your hair. You got a ton of hair. It's like, it was thicker.
Yeah.
And I was, all right, guess I'll grow my hair out one last time. So that's why I have my hair growing out.
And that's why I never get it cut too short. Like, it's not that it's not going to grow back, but I mean, it's probably going to have to be short later in life. I don't need to do that now,
Yeah. I guess it takes a long time to grow, but I'm still trying to figure out the philosophical reason why Chris said I have to grow long hair. And I get it. Like the GF thinks it's hot. Like if I get it going and it's just all tasseled and she starts playing with my hair now. It's like, okay, I see some practical benefits of this, but the philosophical benefits of long hair, I'm not getting. I don't see it. And maybe Chris just, I don't know. He must have some, but he never made that connection. Like, oh, this is why you want long hair. Because you got it. It's a pain in the ass, truthfully, to manage.
Well, a lot. I mean, I agree. And I paid for a haircut yesterday, which wasn't cheap because I like to support, my clients and everything.
Right.
I think the idea is that you won't have a choice for, later on. Like it's going to be short no matter what. So you might as well enjoy it while you have it.
I don't know about that. You and I are pretty old. My grandpa on my mom's side, that's where you get your hair, I guess. He was never bald. He was very full headed.
Yeah, neither way.
Yeah, a touch of thinning, but nothing that would, And by that time, who gives a shit? I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be chasing after girls when I'm 70 years old and maybe thinning a little bit. But I don't know. Chris had a reason, and so I ain't going to question him. And you know who else is growing out his hair long?
Somebody I know.
Yeah. Big guy on the internet, within our sphere anyway. Shorter than us, I believe.
Well, it's not Jack Napier, right? Because he's taller than us.
No, Jack is tall. No, Jack's tall, I guess. Jack's like 6'1".
Yeah, he's taller.
This is shorter and bigger than Jack. Older than Jack. Played guitar.
I'm drawing a blank. Shoot.
Lives in Reno. Will stand you up if your sexual market value isn't high enough to hang out with him because he's an elitist.
You know what? I know who you're talking about. I don't want to say the name. I don't like his hair.
What? Rolo?
Yeah, I don't like it. Like
what's wrong with his hair?
I just think in my opinion, I don't think it looks very good long on him.
Who cares?
Have you seen it?
Yeah. See, that's why I'm trying to understand the philosophy of hair. Rolo is obviously growing it for reasons. I am growing it rarely under the order of somebody else to do it because, well, this guy's older than me. I look up to him and I respect him.
Mm-hmm.
Rolo must have his own reasons.
He must.
I don't think fashion is one of them.
Well, I remember for the last year, anytime he would be live, you would see him wearing like
do-rag or whatever.
Yeah. So I was really surprised. I watched a recent video of his. I really like his channel. He's got some good content.
Rolo's great. Yeah, no doubt.
But I hadn't seen it in a while, and it was so long. I'm like, whoa! I think that's.
Did he have his hat? Because here's the paradox: is the world that I face is. I don't watch Rule Zero. I tune in every once in a while, but after I'm done doing my shit, I don't want to do. I mean, to read Terrence Popp's book, holy crap, that took a lot out of me. And it's kind of like, Chad, you must like accounting. Do you want to talk about accounting anymore? You're like, no. The last fucking thing I want to do at the end of the day is talk about accounting. So I don't really tune in that much. But every once in a while, if I'm on a road trip or something, I'll tune in to Roll or Rule Zero.
I was really surprised. Sorry, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I couldn't believe you went ahead and listened to that show where I popped on, Bacon's at 2 a.m.
That was such a train wreck. I couldn't pull away from it. Like right off the bat, you know how much I love Mary Jo. I mean, we give her shit and all that crap. But boy, she rolls with the punches. And she even came into Bacon's show. And right off the bat, I'm like, wow, MJ's in there, huh? And then everybody's drunk. And as maybe I told you, but I told other people, you know how you knew it was a shit show?
Because they were like, oh, I know the answer to this. You said when Bacon's the one who's like the voice of reason and controlling
when the Bacon is the most mature man in the audience, it's a good show. And Rob just going,
boost the signal.
What was the other one?
No
horses. Don't date a girl with horses. 5 hours of that. Don't date a girl with horses.
That's your advice from years ago.
Well, yeah, but that said, Pop was on that too. Any guy who ever ran into a gal that had horses knows that. And the thing with horse gals is they can't keep up the facade long at all. You get a good bipolar girl, she'll keep up the facade. Mm-hmm. You get a horse gal, they can't keep up the facade for worth a damn. So, but so I don't know why we're all growing our hair out long. I'd like to know why Rolo's growing his hair out. Why are you growing your hair out long? Just reasons? Because you have it?
I think I look better with a little longer hair, at least from feedback I've gotten from the opposite sex over the years. So
it's true. Yeah. I mean, gals prefer hair over baldness. It's not as big as being 6 feet tall or taller. I mean, height is the number one determinant there, but they do prefer a guy with hair, but it's not like a crippling blow. I mean, if you're bald and you own it, you can, Cooper does that.
I don't think us being short is a crippling blow either. It's just,
it's a disadvantage. It's not a crippling blow.
Oh yeah.
But what's his name? Our pet kangaroo. What's his name from Australia?
Piggott?
Oh, Piggott. Thank you, Adam Piggott. He made a great point. Like, you don't want to be a 7 or an 8 as a guy because you're going to get hope. You're going to have success, but the women aren't going to settle for you. And so you're strung along a little bit. You want to be a 5 or a 6 or a 10 or a 9, but you do not want to be that mid-range 7 or 8 because there's no place necessary for you you're not fully rejected, but you're not fully accepted. You're strung along. In other words, the men who are in the 7 to 8 category, you are ideal to be strung along because women obviously think they can get better if you're banging 7s and 8s because they've been sleeping with 9s and 10s.
Is that where we fall, you think?
I think we do because I'm not no homo, no arrogant here or anything. We're handsome men. We're in shape. We got good looks. But man, if you girls meet us, you're going to be let down because we're short. You're 5'8", 5'9".
Ish, yeah.
Ish. Okay, I'm 5'8.5" if you want to know, because I thought I was 5'9", and then the lady put the thing on my head. No, you're 5'8". I'm like, what? God damn it. And Piggott, he had a point there. Because he is a little taller than me, but not much. He ain't no 6 feet tall. And he was absolutely right where if you are in that mid-range where you're not outright rejected, nor you outright accepted, but you are strung along, you got to work so much harder. And you are given hope. You're given like, oh, I could actually get this girl. I might be able to, especially when you're younger. And so, yes, it has never, like I said before, it's never been a difficult. I've always dated gals that were taller than me. I think more than half the girls I dated were taller than me, or at least my height. But very few would commit. And so you get this expectation, this hope, which happened to you, I think, a couple of times. Like, hey, everything's going great. And then, hey, it ain't working out. And there was no poison in the well, no reason, nothing, no harm, no foul. The girl just didn't, and it was early on enough. You respected that. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, okay, best of luck to you. And no ill hurt feelings. But then I was always there. Well, why'd they go away? Why I thought everything was great. Every time it was a taller gal. And I'm speculating. I could be wrong. It's that they want a tall guy. The gals just really, maybe they really like you as a short guy, but for status or genetics, whatever reason, they really want a tall guy. So it is a disadvantage, but if you're short and you got game, It's not, but there's other disadvantages that hide beneath, especially in the long-term game.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I told you about my very recent and novel experience with the tall woman, for the beginning of the year. I don't know. It was a nice experiment. I don't know if that's something I want to do going forward, someone way taller than me. But
did that put you off that much at unease, a taller gal?
I mean, it was just one experience, but I don't know. It's not something I seek. And I'm talking about like really tall, not somebody my height or maybe even a little bit taller. Like
she was significantly taller, right?
Significantly, yeah. Right. But isn't there, this is interesting. With your situation, with the taller woman, do you ever sort of get a little bit ego boost? You're like, hey, look what I managed to.
not real, because see, but I dated tall girls all the time.
Yeah.
And maybe, you in hindsight, you Monday morning quarterback, you say, oh, when you're in the thick of it, you don't realize what's going on. But then you look at the post-battle report, like, oh, that's what was going on. A lot of it, I won't lie, a lot of it was the fact I was a ballroom dance instructor. You get a lot of pull. You punch above your weight there because you're center of attention. You got a skill. Girls want to look great on the floor. So it wasn't, it's never bothered me. But at the same time, not necessarily because they were taller, but like, I'll put myself, what's it called? Where you put your face up on the internet and they rate you. You rate mylooks.com or
is it
rate my face hot or not? Think say rate my face hot or not. I got an 8. Now, of course, they didn't know height, so let's call me a 7. All right, I'm a 7, solid middle, as good as I can possibly be for my height. I would always be pulling in gals that were 8s and 9s, rarely a 10, but I couldn't pull a 10. But I'd go in and I'd walk in, and there'd be this short, scrawny fuck with this tall, good-looking gal. Or just a really good-looking gal. And then on top of it, we danced. So, it's kind of a little bit of an ego boost. But no, I don't care to dance anymore. And now it's like, I walk in with a tall gal, but, she ain't, she's no 10 either. And it's just kind of like, hey, I mean, I guess the egotism is gone. Whether I walk in with it. Now, if she dresses up, like she put on a dress one time. I put on a dress. She was like, why? It's like, because I'm fucking male and I want females. Put on a fucking dress. Like they don't get it, man. They're like, I'll just exist in this world. It's like men want women. Put on a dress. All right, well, and then they wonder why we're happier when they look like females. Like, oh my God, you're feminine. Who knew there was this yin yang counterpoint point? So, and then that was like, oh this is my girl. She's dressed up a little bit, but it's nothing like the olden days where, but those gals were fleeting. They were not. I mean, why did you walk in with your tall drink of water and people turned an eye or something?
Well, I mean, this was back when it was New Year's and everything. I brought her to my friend's party, for New Year's, and there were a lot of people there. And I thought it was kind of neat because none of them had met her. And I'm like, hey, hey. It was a bucket list item and something I'd never done before. So it was neat to do. I don't want to close any windows, but I don't think that's for me. The ones that are just towering over me. It was just,
what if you find a girl that towers over you and really likes, accountants with hair? What's wrong with that? Does that bother you? It can possibly be a deal breaker for you.
No, it's not a deal breaker. If there's someone very attractive who is, a lot taller than me, of course I'd give it a shot.
Right.
I'm just saying I'm less likely to end up going for someone who's way taller than me. Doesn't mean I'll never do it, but I really like my shorties. You remember Cuddle Wookums and how small she was?
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate the small petite ones, but I mean, we're on kind of the, you got to get pretty small and petite for guys our side. I mean, because I'm a $150, you're a $150, right?
No, I'm
$140, aren't you?
40, yeah.
Yeah, because you've been running. I mean, well, the average gal is 160 pounds now.
Yeah, because fat asses here.
Yeah, good luck finding a petite gal that's in shape that's your height. It's really hard, but
it is challenging, very very challenging.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's I don't know. I'm glad I don't chase anymore. It's a very interesting academic observation. Like, let's see Chad get fucked up. Like, hey, look at Chad get the shit kicked out of him. Oh, he dated the tall girl. Oh, he dated the bipolar rich bitch from the suburbs. Oh my gosh, what's going to happen to Chad? It's very fun watching you date.
Yeah, I love it.
But I mean, my gosh, I mean, when's the last time you had I'm trying to remember the last time I had a gal that was petite compared to me, where you had that dominant masculine, like you could just throw her around and fuck the ever living shit out of her, because she was light. I'm trying to remember the last time. I'm thinking that's 20 years ago and ain't even coming to me now. I'm trying to remember back that far. And you had the tall gal. I mean, what was that like? You had some concerns there.
I mean, it wasn't really all about her height or anything. It was just there were some oddities I felt when dealing with someone. I'm not going to get specific because I can't.
No. I think it's the older brother podcast. There are short guys out there. And so I think, these are, and you had some concerns, which I was surprised. I'm like, what do you care about leaning up to kiss a girl? Well, so what? You got to get on your tippy toes to kiss a girl. So what? Do it. I've never, oh man, I love tall girls. I don't know why. And I've known guys who won't let their wives or girlfriends wear high heels because then they're tall. Then I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go with the tall girls. They're fun.
Well, this is what kept getting me. There were a bunch of other things, but this was something in my head that I was having trouble getting past. I always had this rule because so many people, guys and gals, are becoming fat asses in this country, or they already have.
Yeah.
So my modest rule was, if I'm going to date a woman, I don't want her to weigh more than me. I just don't. I feel weird about that.
Right.
And the taller one we're talking about, she by no means was she overweight or even thick or anything. But she did weigh more than me. When that's kind of on me a little bit because I'm kind of skinny.
You're svelte. Yeah. You're skinny.
Yeah, but that was just one of a few things where I was like, I just don't like the idea that.
Dude, you got to make an accommodation for their height. That's not their fault that they're tall.
No, I did. I'm telling you, there were a couple, I did tell you the story about how we got into some political discussions, and that's where everything.
Well, I know that. Yeah, because she was an NPC, frankly. She wasn't an independent-minded person. She was.
Yeah, so I'm not saying it was solely because she was way taller than me. I'm just saying this was one of the small things where she weighed more than me. I was just kind of like, you have to be kind of perfect for me to
Here's the thing. Men in general, I'm sure there's probably a genetic predisposition to not want to date gals that are taller or lighter, fatter. I'm sorry, way more than you, that are heavier. And fat may not be it because you date a 6'3" gal. She could be a $160, and she could be, and that's very much in shape. So you have to, but I think men, especially because we're all about procreating and having sex as much spread the seed, all that genetic stuff. Women have a much bigger hurdle. They got to have a guy tall. I understand that. I'm not going to argue with women about they got to have the guy who's 6 feet tall or whatever. So that's it. But men, at least, I think you really expand your dating pool where if you could just get over that. So what? She weighs more than you, but she's also taller than you.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I have not completely shut the idea of this out in the future. It's just, if I do come across a tall lady, and at least for my end, she has to be pretty freaking awesome for me to get into it. And then, you should say that about anyone you date, I think, especially at this stage.
Sometimes you just want a hole to come in. Sorry, just to be blunt, just to be, direct.
I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to say it, but it's not. You're not wrong.
Sometimes girls just want to stick. I'm not gonna. I don't know if that still happens nowadays or if everything's rape. I have no.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
God, have you ran into that yet? You got to worry about the after sex text, or has that been relatively? You haven't had girls come back and say, "I think I was raped by you."
I haven't had anything like that happen. Quite frankly, if someone's uncomfortable and we're about to do it, and someone's uncomfortable, I immediately am like, "All right, cool."
Immediately. There's nothing. Yeah. No. There's no quicker boner killer when the girl doesn't want it. You're like, okay, I'm not forcing this on you.
I hate the term affirmative consent, but I basically seek that if it's going there, and if they don't, whether we're in my office or not, if they express being uncomfortable about this, it's like, all right.
Well, seriously, what mentally healthy male? I mean, if the gal doesn't want it, you're just kind of like, okay, yeah, you know what? Then I don't know if it's like it's certainly morals, but man, I don't know what else to say than like, oh, you don't want that? Well, okay. You know, especially when you were younger, like you're pushing for it, like, no. And you're like, after a while, you're kind of like, all right, yeah, maybe you should just go home, you know, I don't know, and you know, call him again. But
well, no, exactly. There's no need to like push for it if it ain't gonna happen. I remember actually, quick funny story. This is from 2018. This was
like you have it down to a date like that.
I remember
back in the olden days, Chad, many years ago in 2018.
When dating was easier. And no, that's not a sarcastic comment. Dating from 2018 to now has deteriorated worse.
The online dating race has accelerated. Yes, the arms race has accelerated drastically.
It's getting worse by the year. So anyway, there was a situation like that, you know, where at my place where there was some what's the word, tentativeness, you know, on the woman's part, and I could tell. So I'm just like, you know what, just don't worry about it. We'll do this another time. And I was a little bit tipsy, so I was like, look, you can stay in my room. I'm going to the couch. And apparently she was mildly sad or insulted about it, because when I went over to my couch, like 5 minutes later, she wanted me to come back in the room. And then guess what happened?
With the hanky panky and the bam shika bam bam.
Yeah, and this was not a manipulative tactic of mine. I'm just like head spinning, feel weird. Going
sure. Yeah. No. Right. No. Well, there's also the headache that's involved. Like if I got, especially at this age, where I gotta play a tactic, like unconsciously, you weren't playing a tactic, you weren't playing strategy.
No,
like,
no.
I got the spins. Oh, now I'm ready. I'd be like, yeah, I'm not. I've checked out the moment for that. The train has left the station.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to bed. And tomorrow maybe we get coffee and I shuffle you off to the L. But no, it's just the gal doesn't want it. It's not. No, you can't. I can't anymore.
Well, that's why when this happened, and I come back, I'm like, look, are you sure? Are you sure? You're okay? And yeah. So,
well, that's how it goes. What's the other excitement over there aside from rain? Any excitement going on in Chicago? Because we'll go to the super chats. I got a bunch of articles here.
Well, we don't have quite the talented, peaceful protesters that y'all had in downtown Minneapolis, but we have plenty. They, of course, are talking about defunding the police here.
Please do.
The mayor, you know how Chicago has aldermans for like
aldermans, and you have a veritable mental handicap. I mean, you look at her; she is malformed.
She's the worst.
She is an idiot.
So you heard that story, and this became public. How there was a call between the mayor and all of the aldermans about the looting and the rioting.
Right.
And so one of the aldermen, this was on the south side, I think. Yeah, one of the aldermen who was, the area was not good, was like, look, we need a plan. We were not prepared for this. All our businesses are getting destroyed. And you know what happened next?
She said to F off, or what?
She started cursing. It was like, you're fucking crazy. And then, it deteriorated and all the other aldermen got involved.
Wait, and this is available a bunch of Chicago aldermen broke down because they're a bunch of, truly mentally impaired leftists. The leftist is almost secondary. These are mental idiots. These are morons. They are not capable of, these are not adults. They are also insane. I will say they have mental illness. I don't know what, but they are insane. And it fell apart, huh? Because the religion's that strong.
It took like 45 seconds for it to devolve into cursing. And this actually made the national news. Like it was on a few widely spread publications.
Question, Mr. Elkins.
Yeah.
Were there any Republican aldermen there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. You can't find that in this part of the country. No, not even close, man. There's nothing Republican here.
See my hands? See, there's nothing on it, right? Do you know how many Republicans were involved in destroying different cities and burning businesses to the ground?
None. All of them were Democrat.
Zero. Zero fucking row. Now, one Republican is responsible for any of this shit. And I just can't wait for these leftist Democrats to wallow in their filth. You guys go have fun.
And you actually posted that one article where someone was like, oh, all the businesses, grocery stores in the South Side, they're all leaving.
Yep.
And that was what the alderman was upset about. And the mayor is basically like, fuck off.
Right. Well, your mayor is mentally ill. Our mayor is mentally, our mayor, the Minneapolis mayor, he's mentally ill.
That guy is an idiot. Idiot.
This empty coffee cup, I'm not joking, has more intelligence than Jacob Fry. It has more intelligence than all the aldermen in Chicago. It has more intelligence than all the city council people over in the Twin Cities, because it's non-thinking, just like these guys. And what you're seeing, and it's so wonderful to watch, because I'm out. I checked out. I got my house being built in South Dakota. I sold my place in Minneapolis, this is 20 years ago, in the area that got torched. You are seeing reality run head, immovable object versus unstoppable force. And that is reality versus their leftist indoctrination. Mm-hmm. And I would love to be in the mind, the cognitive dissonance of your typical liberal lily white pussy in Minneapolis, who's just, it's like Target Corporation. We'll get to an article later where you just got destroyed disproportionately by diversity. And let's be honest, but disproportionately by black people, but it was in the black neighborhood, so I understand. And they just can't. Now they've already dedicated $10 million more. So it is insanity what is happening there, and I just like watching, because you have a delusional mental retard in the form of your governor or not governor, Mayor Lightfoot.
Yes,
that is not a functional adult human being. That is a mentally ill person who does not care about her constituents or the citizens of Chicago. But worse, the citizens of Chicago are also, that person is just a reflection of the people that voted her in. So you can't necessarily she's almost a messenger. You can't shoot the messenger. But I can't wait to see liberal people in major metropolitan, all you Democrats, you voted this in, and now your Frankenstein monsters you created are killing you. And now you have to make a choice. Are you wrong about what you hold most dear to you, which is your politics, because you're worthless people? Otherwise, you have nothing else except your politics. Or are you going to let your Frankenstein monsters, the result of your political ideology, destroy you? And I try not to get angry. I try. It's really hard. But I find solace in knowing that they've done this to themselves. Oh, have you seen how they're trying to blame it on a white national group? Or
yeah, because it's the white nationalists running around,
right? Yeah,
windows.
because those dipshits could ever get their organizational act together. And I try not to get, and I still get angry. I have a morning cocktail now.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yes,
you already have one today.
Yes, I had a scotch, and it helps.
Join you next break. I might join you.
Well, maybe, but the trick is you don't overdo it. You just have
one little beer. 98 calories.
One every 2 to 3 hours, and it's really calling me. No, seriously, because what am I going to go on benzo? I've given up the fight. I just get angry if I don't call, and I'm like, this is not worth it. I'm going to die of stress. We talked about cortisol and phantom pain, or whatever your mom called it, the quasi hypochondriac. You have symptoms.
Oh, conversion
disorder or whatever. Right. Well, that's gone away.
Hey, you relaxed.
It's hard, man, because you're looking. Here's the unfortunate conclusion you have to make about it's raining. So what, Chad? That happens. There's rain.
No, I'm out the
You'll be fine, city boy.
No, I'm just saying sheets. It looks like there's a waterfall. But anyway, go ahead.
You know what that means? There's no tornado then. When you got that much rain, there's no tornado.
What also means I'm probably not going to be going running today, which is why I'm pondering a beer. But anyway.
The sad thing this makes me realize, what do these people respond to? What do the protesters and the rioters and looters and the arsonists, what do they respond to?
It's obviously the victim narrative.
Well, okay.
How
do I get a Minneapolitan, regardless of race? How do I get a Chicagoan, regardless of color, or just they're burning down their neighborhood? How do I get them to stop?
You know what? That is a great question. I would say force, but that hasn't really worked.
No. That's the only thing that's worked. You can't reason with them. These people have to be shot or physically restrained.
By the National Guard, yeah.
Well, by the National Guard or the cops or private citizens or property owners. These people cannot be reasoned with. And what is sad and tragic to me is what a testament and statement that is to the average human, well, not maybe average, but that they're so easily brainwashed, that they're so easily duped, that they're so easily programmed to not think. And now it's incumbent upon people to protect themselves. You got to kill other people. That's unfortunate. I don't like saying that. I'm not advocating death or murder. But when it comes to you can't reason with you're dealing with like a hungry pack of wolves. What are you going to reason with the wolves? I've tried. I'm like, why are you destroying your own town? Make a state. They're gone. It's like talking to a drug addict that's high. You know, people think there's still a human being there. No, they're gone. You are not dealing with a rational human being. You are dealing with an animal.
Did you see what Jacob Fry did on Saturday?
Was it his dance? Was it his stupid ass dance?
No, that fucking moron. Like, so there's this big, I guess it's a BLM rally Saturday afternoon or something.
Okay.
And so he's there. He's like, I accept that, I am privileged and I am a bad person essentially. And then this is the best part. The whoever's leading this thing, this dumbass,
kicked him out.
Yeah, you saw that because they're like,
I saw that. Yeah,
you have to say yes or no. Do you want to defund the police or disband the police? And he's like, I do not support that. And he was like booed and jeered and had his head down and left.
That's the first time that guy ever grew a pair. That's the first time.
I was actually thinking he was a pussy for doing that. And
no,
that a real mayor would have been like, no.
That's the first time that guy did a manly act.
Really?
That's the first time the guy did it. He says, no, I'm not for defunding the police. And that took some courage. Now, he's still shocked from it because it must be a traumatic expense for a lifetime pussy like him to actually stand on principle. But no, the mob wanted X. He said, no, we need the cops. So good for him. I've been busting his balls on Twitter. I think his Twitter is like ghosted. Like if you mention Fry, it doesn't get retweeted or any traffic at all. Because usually I'll get some traffic on something, but I think they have them like on lockdown or whatever, so it won't be shown. Well, no, that's true, but it shows you how irrational the average human being is in the Twin Cities or the mob.
Well, the reason I thought he was kind of a pussy, I mean, you're right, he did at least not placate them, but the way he kind of slinked away with his head down,
he should, yeah.
I don't know. I thought he should show some balls and be like, look, I am the mayor of this city. And, no. They
would have beat the shit out of him. They would have kicked it. They just got done torching his city.
Yeah.
I as much as I hate that little prick, as much as I cannot, I have so little respect. I can't have any less. That's the first thing he did in his entire life. And I don't even have to look him up or his background. I know he's a pampered little bitch from the suburbs.
Yeah,
mommy and he's had. Okay, whatever. Why is a Virginian running Minneapolis? Why don't we have a Minneapolitan?
That's a damn great question because I was curious about his background. He lived in the same hometown that my parents and I lived in when we were in the U.S. when I was growing up. And good Lord, that's a very like affluent area.
Of course it is. Of course. What do you think he went through the trials and tribulations?
Oh, hell no.
To be intellectually honest, someone from Black Lives Matter who grew up in North Minneapolis, which is the equivalent to Southside Chicago. That's the ghetto. You have a rough and tumble guy who grew up actually in the city, or gal. They make a better mayor than Fry because at least they weren't a pampered little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
But they would vote in the same leftist policies. It wouldn't matter. So no, it's very sad. But I'm kind of, I don't care anymore. I try not to let it bother me. But it still is like, wow, humans, this is what happens when you get unlimited wealth, whether it comes from rich parents like Fry or the government, in which case it's all the Twin Cities Minneapolitan people, or it's just all, maybe not in the copious amounts of having rich parents, but when everything is paid for, you become a bunch of parasitic, whiny little bitches. If it doesn't go your way, you burn your own fucking town. And then, and like I said, it's great because I would love to find some of these old liberals I knew back in the swing dancing days. I love to see these little quanta ha-has. Like, how's things going? And what's especially great about these people in particular, because there's several of them, you know what race they are?
Well, I think I do.
They're white.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the color of the kids they had?
The same?
Yeah, you don't have to be Sherlock to figure that one out.
All right,
They're
I thought
white.
maybe, yeah.
You know how they've been voting and sending their kid? Do you know what's going to happen to their most precious investment?
Well, we know that it's not going to turn out well for them. If
not going to turn out well. No. But I just like what it, and I won't see them. Maybe they're listening. Maybe you little pussies, you little pansies are toning in. And it's not that you're pussies or pansy. You're that, but you're also hypocrites. You're also disrespecting, self-loathing hypocrites. And it really doesn't have anything to do with race. It has to do with socialism. And you voted this shit in. And now because there's a racial component to socialism, because, you're that color, so we get your money because reasons and oppression and all that. Now you guys get to sit and wallow in it. And so I feel bad because what are the aldermans doing for the south side of Chicago, or just Chicago and what are they doing in general? Anything? Or are they just bitching and whining and decaying into arguments?
They actually don't have that much power. They're like local mayors for these small little pockets.
Yeah, precincts or something.
Precincts, yeah. So I don't want to knock them too much because they're really quite powerless to do anything. And if anything, I respect the guy. His name was Lopez. The hell was it? Rick Lopez or something like that. Okay. It was the alderman that finally stood up to the mayor. And I kind of respect that because you and our cities have the two worst mayors in the entire country, I think.
Well, I'm sure if we go to Seattle or something, maybe Portland.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's a neck and neck race for multiple mayors. It really is a comeuppance because there is, I especially saw this in the, not minority community, but the immigrant community. Because if you look at where they destroyed shops and restaurants and little businesses, they were disproportionately owned by non-black, non-white minorities, predominantly immigrants, some Latinos, some East Indians, some Middle Easterners. And there's also black and Latino Democrats who are just doing that. They vote that way because it makes best sense in the short term, not long term, but their short term economic, perhaps immigration interests. Mm-hmm. But now you got to really look at who's your friends, and it's not your friends. It's who's going to leave you alone. I'm going to point out one more time to all people listening, regardless of your stripe, your skin color, your gender, or whatever, however you vote. Not one Republican is responsible for one brick or one burning or one looting or anything. That is all Democrats, and maybe not registered Democrats. I'm sure the looters don't give a darn about that, but all the arsons, all the arsonists, all the robbers, all the looters, all that destruction, 100, there was not one Republican involved in that. And you may not like the Republicans, you may not like the fact they're going to vote against welfare, but they leave you the fuck alone. And they're not a bunch of fucking mental basket cases. They are civilized people. Now, you came here to the United States, right? Or maybe you're just trying to get out of the ghetto, or like that one, I don't know if you knew about that one guy he ran up. He's a fire department guy, black guy, and his bar got torched. Look, maybe the Republicans are not going to give you all the welfare in the world. Maybe the Republicans are going to send some of your relatives back home who shouldn't be here anyway. Maybe the Republicans might insist, hey, you start voting America. Okay, you came here and you can have your little trinkets and baubles and shirts and festivities. But no, we're not changing the world to bend over backwards to you. But they will leave you the fuck alone. And they're not going to destroy your businesses because they're not mentally insane. So what do you want? And so I think the good news, I know it sounds shocking, I think Republicans could actually win the Twin Cities mayoral and city council elections. I think you could have a Republican mayor in Chicago or other places where there's riots. But it'd be a long shot, but now's a better time than ever.
I'm so black pill about this stuff that I feel like there's all hope is lost, in light of everything that's gone on. I maybe you'll be right someday and that would be great, but I've just lost all faith in everything.
Even before this destruction happened, I had a big lefty buddy of mine who lived in Seattle, and she's like, and this was COVID. This had nothing to do with the riot. She's like, I am done with the Democrats. I'm turning this place right. Yeah, and I'm like, okay. Because it is Democrat. I don't if you remember COVID, remember coronavirus, remember that?
Oh, vaguely. It was the only thing in the news a couple weeks ago, something like that. Yeah,
a little small news. That was all Democrat. Yeah, those all Democrat governors telling people, no, fuck off, you can't live your life. Not Republicans. Republicans saying, go do, live, enjoy. And now it's the Republic. I thought coronavirus was a great gift to the Republican Party, or simply the not left party.
Yeah.
Now with these riots, it's like 100% Democrats fuck themselves up. And now you guys get to have a little philosophical thought with it. You get to have a debate within your own mind about, are you Democrats? Because there's a D, and oh my God, I'm a virtually sitting white person. Or it's like, they burned my shit down. Fuck these assholes.
Ridiculous how they destroy their own businesses. I'm never going to understand that. It does not compute.
They are not human. These, I'm being serious. Genetically, they're human. Duh. These people are robots. They're NPCs.
Yeah.
They cannot be. They are feral. They are zombies. The public schools and colleges brainwashed all these people into this to think that they're oppressed and everything's bad, Orange Man bad, and and on top of it, don't major in engineering, don't become an accountant, don't become a mechanic. You got to save the world. You got to be a hero. You have that ego. And now this is Antifa and all these worthless leftists fucking come in their pants because now there's time to shine. I don't know for what. I don't know to what end, aside to destroy shit. But this is their time. Now they get to riot and protest. The girls get to wear their pink pussy hats. That's it. That's all. They're just executing a program. They're executing a code. That's it. An algorithm. And now they're done. But you're not going to reason with them. You're not going to rationalize with it. They're going to destroy. They don't care if it's their neighbor. They're fighting the system, man. That's all this is. This is all ego. Sure, fine. Maybe the early rioters, or not rioters, the looters, predominantly black in the neighborhood, because that's where the neighborhoods were. They're getting their free gimme that's and the free TV, and they're looting for financial incentive. But the arson and the destruction, that's all privileged, spoiled, brat, egotistical, crusaderist, superhero, Antifa white kids from the burbs. That's all that is.
I do want to give them credit for one small thing. These protesters, looters,
how effective they are at destroying a city.
Well, they did, at least from what I could see, they did absolutely pulverize a couple of H&R Block storefronts. So I'm down with that. I say go get them.
Everybody's got their now you're on their side.
Why you would tear up a freaking tax prep office, I have no idea. There's really nothing in there that's valuable, but that's what they did.
You keep asking reason. They destroyed a CVS. They destroyed why? Why are you
ridiculous?
Why are you destroying a grocery store?
See, those were already kind of deserts for businesses down there. They were hard to come by, and now they're totally gone. The citizens have to go 5 or 10 miles away just to get the damn.
Too bad. I guess they got to keep on voting for Democrats. So let's get some super chats. And are you tracking them right now?
Yeah, I'll
we don't go too far. You got Cynic and Chief. You want to read this? And we'll go through. All right.
Yeah. Cynic for $2. Cappy still has a home. The rioters must be lazy.
Nobody looks at maps like Afton does. I am so far away. I'm in a town called Afton. I'm not even in the town. I'm in the township, the area of Afton. It's practically to Wisconsin. It's on the river. That's 40 miles away from the Twin Cities, or 30 at least. The rioters were very centralized in a very specific area, my old neighborhood. And if they come here, they'll probably get shot. Because the suburb people, inner city suburb, there's still a lot of guilty white people, but once you get to the outer burbs, I'm technically rural. These people are sick and tired of paying taxes for these parasites in the city. Both your liberal, effete, government worker, nonprofit, academic, college kids, and then your standard barrio, ghetto, trailer trash welfare. But they're sick and tired. It's like, yeah, come on. I mean, people know they will respond to violence. They will not cross certain lines because they know they'd get shot. And there's plenty of people just begging for, like, yeah, come on, do it. There's also the issue of circumferences, but I'm not going to go into the math of that. But no, the rioters are not going to come out. And if they do, they will not be going home. That's how simple it is.
Right. The next one is Actually, there's a couple before the one. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you read through those? Cause I don't have them.
Okay. So Steven Ochoa for $2 got a triple threat here. It says horse girl versus cosmetics girl versus liberal arts major. There's ones that are, all three wrapped in one.
Horse girl versus liberal arts girl versus
like which one is worse, I get. Like of
horse
the three,
girl. Horse girl. Doesn't matter if she's Republican or Democrat. No, horse girl's the worst. Out of all, that's cancer. I'd rather date a girl with herpes before I date a horse girl.
Wow.
Because herpes is
never come across that. I've never come across a horse girl, at least in a dating.
We live in the city. I mean, there's a reason there's not a lot of horses going down, Broadway Avenue over in Chicago.
Unless a protester steals a cop's horse. That's what happened a week and a half ago.
Is that what happened to it? Did they know how to ride the horse?
They said they just showed, in the middle of fires, this one dude on the horse, and he's just casually walking. It made it onto Twitter.
Okay. All right.
So the next one, do you have competent man there for $5?
Nope. Yeah, let's bang him out before it gets too.
Okay, competent man, $5. What is going on with the goddamn Bacon? It seems like he has constant sound and computer problems. Does he need replacement hardware? I don't know. The one thing I'll say is I've never understood why he does his shows only on Instagram, but I guess he has his reasons. So
he has his reasons. I've tried to reach out to thegoddammebacon.com, but no one listens, so we don't have to worry about that. But there's reasons he did. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun doing that show.
It was fun listening to it.
So now we're at Murray for $1.99.
Murray, $1.99.
Why did I get banned from your main channel?
If he got banned, it's probably because he was like posting a shit ton of bullshit. And it's not, I don't even read it, but if I see someone posting, like, instead of just posting one paragraph, if you post 5 separate sentences, now you're bumping down people who are paying money to have the show, and I will lose track. And if it's dumbass shit and you're saying dumbass things, like the same repetitive, I banned somebody because he's like, we need to ban fat chicks now. And he kept saying it and saying it. It's like, and look, I don't want to audit or edit or babysit the chat room. But if now people are paying money and all of a sudden you post 15 different, remember there's been instances of this, but if you're just going to be a dick, I'll get rid of you. And it's, I don't care if you donate or not. I'm sorry, Murray, but don't be a moron. That's it. And I really, and if I had, of all the shit on my plate that I got to worry about and deal with and try to get done, I am not babysitting a fucking chat room. Yeah. So if I see fuckery going on, you're banned. That's how simple it is. So I appreciate the donations, Murray. Just, keep everything in line. That's all.
So who's next? It's I Snows. You are brave, courageous, and inspirational for $2.
Thank you. Yes. And
I don't know if you were talking to me, but thank you.
No. Well, maybe he is. Maybe we're both brave and courageous and inspirational.
Definitely inspirational, if nothing else.
All right. Scrolling down.
The next one should be Judd Grover for $5. The dating market is great. Just look at it as a comedy and do not seek a long-term relationship. Wife material girls are a thing of the past. Enjoy, but Skype her first. That last part's not terrible advice, actually. Like this is what's been caused by all this, everybody staying at home and shit.
Right.
You don't waste your time traveling or meeting someone who's obviously a secret internet fatty or who was trying to deceive you with pictures. Mm-hmm. So I agree.
I'm still waiting for the romances to fall apart. When you've been talking to a gal now for the past 2 months, you've wasted a lot of time. You've gotten invested emotionally with this girl. Maybe not love, certainly not love, but you get your hopes up. And then when it comes time to meet, these girls are going to disappear on you guys. They are going to stand you up and you're never going to meet them. And you're like, well, what happened to all those hours? I thought,
well, I've hung out with mine a few times, but yeah, a lot of other women, I think, were just looking for attention or because they never do that. Right.
Chad, are you saying women would sometimes just go on a date or interact with people on the internet to get attention with no intention of maybe seeking out an actual relationship?
Well, don't forget a free meal. That's something.
Oh, well, that too. Right. Well, I don't have that now. I wonder if the gals have figured out a way to like scam Uber Eats out of a romance. Like the guy's never there. They still manage to get like, I know a guy, Mr. Pounding the Table, red pill. And like, he's buying this girl pizzas in a different state and helping her out with rent. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Just fuck off.
No, I mean, yeah, you could tell very quickly, at least I could, who actually wants to get to know you and who just wants to get some free attention with no hope of meeting up. It's easy to snuff out.
I again, not a lot of dating experience as of recent, but a guy paid me, or gal, I think it was a guy, paid me to do Tinder for a weekend.
Yeah, Tinder.
What a fucking shit. And that was like 3-4 years ago. What a shit show that is. What a waste of fucking time.
Tinder, so I haven't used that one in several years. It's like it's a cesspool of bots, scammers, people looking for Instagram followers, and it's not very viable.
You could almost, like, if it was a good-looking gal, like, I know that's a Russian hacker or something else. And then the gal's like, okay, this looks like a legit profile, and you swipe right or left, and you wouldn't hear anything. Well, and Better Bachelor, by the way, who you sent me, you told me he mentioned me in his podcast, and thank you to Better Bachelor. Holy shit, sales went up for both he gave a hell of a plug. So everybody go check out Better Bachelor on YouTube, Better Bachelor, starring Joker, with a face for radio and a voice for print.
That is a self-deprecating there.
But he did some amazing research and statistics on just how few women swipe to like you, like how few matches there are on dating apps. And it is gentlemen, your time is the only thing you have. Do not waste it on these dumbass dating apps. They're horrible. Absolutely horrible.
And I'm sure everybody who's using these things knows this, but if you're using one of them and the only thing that a girl has is a bunch of pictures and then she says, here's my Instagram, don't waste your time. They just want followers.
What does that mean if the Instagram, they're trying to get Instagram followers?
Yeah, they're trying to get Instagram followers. Like, and if you're not even going to say anything about yourself or what you're looking for, and if you just have your Instagram, it means they're there to get followers.
How common, again, Boomer Clary here, how common is it that, let's say you match with a gal on one of these dating apps, they're just like giving you one-word answers?
Very common.
Okay, that's very common. Like, so there's no creativity or play or his girl Friday going back. I mean, it's just what is that? Are they just, is it just to get attention, or because I don't understand, like, if you match with the guy, you presumably would want to exchange, but if it's just one word answers, like, what are you torturing the guy? Is this fun to you? What is that?
I was just talking about this yesterday with someone. So say you connect, you'll ask them a question, how was your weekend, or how did you enjoy going to so-and-so, if they have a picture of a vacation spot.
Right.
If they're only giving you short, a few words, sentences, and they don't ask a single question about you, my rule is if I've asked you 3 questions and that you haven't asked anything about me, then I just get rid of you, because clearly you're not interested in getting to know me.
3 questions, that's generous. But why? Why do they? I don't understand. Now, maybe somebody has
attention. They want a validation. They want attention. They want to feel that they're desired and that they're wanted.
But by a guy they have no interest in.
I don't get it, man. I don't know how they actually can get the feels or dopamine hits by just talking to guys who might want to date them, but they're there for attention. I don't understand it myself.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I understand it's a dopamine hit, but I don't know if I get a dopamine hit by someone I'm not interested in. Like, why did they agree to meet you or match you on the the dating profile? But then they're not. It's just like, to string you along, and then they suck the life out of you like a vampire. I don't get it. It doesn't make any. But
what I think it is, and I've talked to a few female friends. They connect with all these different guys, then they immediately rate them, who's the hottest, and they try to get the hottest first, and they sort of go down, their list of these guys that they're connected with. It's terrible. It's really
sad.
shitty.
It's sad is what I'm like. I have better things to do than to string, like, I'm trying to think of it on the opposite end. As a gal I don't really want to date, but I want her to ask me questions on a fucking dating app. I got shit to do, man.
Well, here's the interesting part. If you flip this around, say it's me, and then I'm getting all these messages, and okay, not to knock myself too much, it's usually the guy's job to connect with the women on these things and start the banter.
It's our job to do everything because we're men, and this equality bullshit is exactly that when it comes to responsibility in dating. It's bullshit. Women want tradition, but go on.
So if the roles are reversed and the woman is taking charge, she's showing some initiative. Who do you think is 99% of the time doing that? Like, describe what type of woman.
Oh, it's a Russian hacker or some fat old. I mean, there's something wrong. There's absolutely something wrong.
You know what it is? And remember, it's our job to do the work. If there's any women being proactive and doing the work on this, they're either extremely overweight, extremely ugly, and usually they're my age or older. And that actually, so whereas women get validation from doing that shit, I actually feel worse about myself when I see that, because I'm like, these women actually think that I'm in their league, these disgusting pigs.
Well, but they were told their entire lives that they deserve, and their prince is coming.
That they've been attractive, the ones that do this.
And mine is more of a philosophical economic question. Like, if I'm a person in general, why would I waste my time stringing people along with one word? Why would I even match? Why would I swipe? What is it? Left if you like, right if you don't.
Right if you do, and left if you don't. It's right, an ego thing. They probably, when they start hanging out, they can take screenshots. They can see.
Look at this guy.
This gaggle of women. Be like, look how many matches I have, and look at what this one guy wrote. I've been around women who do.
Really?
This.
They say that?
Yes.
Ladies, fuck you. I'm sorry. There's a reason you make less than men. If that's your expenditure of time, if that's what you get off on, holy shit.
And you're right. Yeah,
That's
like three questions probably is a little bit generous on my end, but I mean, that's really the only way you can filter these ones. And the other way is if you're having a decent discussion and then you say something like, hey, let's meet up for coffee or go for a walk. When they don't respond, they're gone. So that's, at least in my opinion, the best way to sniff these things out.
Yeah, I'm glad I'll never go back. I never will.
It's terrible. No, it's honestly, it's soul crushing. It causes like fatigue. It makes you jaded. I'm not even really active on this stuff now, but I mean,
and you got the wisdom, and it still sucks the life out of you a little bit. You know what's going on. But, no, I'm not going back to Vietnam. I didn't have fun time when I was there. I'm not going back now. It's not improved either. So let me get some coffee. You want to grab yourself a beer? All right, we'll come back. We'll hit Rob here, our 1099 superior racer.
Love the 1099.
I love the 1099ers, so I will be back.
All right.
When she looks straight ahead at me.
Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema
goes walking, and every time she passes, everyone says, ah. This coffee's got to cool down. I brewed a fresh pot. I talked to my old man. You ready for a little side story? You should every once in a while talk to your old man, whether they're as successful or more successful, less successful than you. You always get to.
Sure, I talk to mine all the time.
And I was like running and working out and doing that. And I'm like, Dad, is this it? Is this fucking it? Because I wake up and it's like, oh, you brew coffee, and I got this job. This is the easiest job ever. And then you kind of like, is this it? He's like, this is it. I'm like, huh. And I said, don't give me no religious bullshit. I don't want your religious. I want a secular answer. So he was kind enough to be honest with me in there. It's like, you go to the coffee store with the guys, which he can't do now because of Corona Chan. He works part-time. And that's it. The finish line sucks. For those of you who are like, dude, bro, I can't wait. Yeah, well, the finish line sucks. There's nothing else to do, and just hang out with old people and get your coffee in the morning. I brewed a pot of coffee this morning. I'm gonna go sit on my patio, watch kind of the sort of rain come in. That was nice yesterday. The rain came in and we got an overhang, so it was raining like 6 inches in front of me, but I was remaining dry. Watch some Cowboy Bebop music videos. Those are very therapeutic. But
I didn't have a chance to do that. I was working pretty late last night. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you got a lot of work now, or what?
Yeah, but I don't feel bad about that. They're still opening places up here, so it's hard to go there and do anything fun. So I might as well work and make some money.
But is this all tax related then too? Because now it's amortized until what, July 15th is
July 15th, yeah. And this is this is kind of funny. One of them did something similar to what you did this year.
You forgot to record their contribution to the retirement plan.
I wasn't going to say it out loud, but yeah, someone did.
I have shame. I'll owe up to my mistake. I fucked up on that. I had great shame. But
I was chuckling when I saw it and got the email that's like, "Oh, I did this," and you're not alone. So many people do this every year.
Well, I got super chat donations. Now I could contribute to a retirement plan.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, I was talking I don't know, a couple asshole consulting videos ago, and people were sending in super chats. I was like, just so you know, the money doesn't go anywhere sexy. I mean, maybe it goes to a bottle of booze, maybe it goes to a coffee, but most of it goes to like a retirement plan and a house fund and gas and utilities and bills. It's not terribly exciting.
I was gonna say, when we get a lot of super chats and then you send me my cut, it help. I can pay the internet bill with it. I can pay the power bill. It's cool.
You know what that is?
What's that?
It's not sexy. It's the opposite of sexy to women. It's responsible. It's responsible. And then you make your money, and then you build up a retirement savings account, and then you have your house owned all outright. And then the women say, where have the good men gone? And because you don't flash your money like a peacock, feathering his feathers, the girls don't see that. I wonder if women realize that the good guys are like icebergs. You won't see them. Most men hide their power level. You know that reference?
Mm-hmm.
The power level. It's a Dragon Ball Z, right? A horrible cartoon.
Yeah, I've heard people use it before.
Right. You hide the ladies. For all three of you there tuning in, if you want to find a rich guy, you don't go for the guy that's flashing his cash because he's spending the cash. He doesn't actually have cash. You want to find the iceberg. There's like a little tip, one little thing. I'm like, oh, whatever. But that's not fun or sexy, no, is it, Chad?
No, and they're not. At least women of a certain age are not interested in anything responsible or practical. At least
like you mean the 20-somethings, or are you talking older ones?
No, I'm talking sometimes it'll seep up until the early mid-30s because women are like, 30 is the new 20. But yeah, it's the younger ones that they're not interested in somebody who's responsible.
I understand that. They want to have fun. I get that. But when you've shown me your profiles, because you said up to 40, 45?
It varies. I think, to be fair, I always push it to where my age is. Doesn't mean I'll go out with someone my age, but I'll at least, include it.
What percentage of them say looking for a man who's stable, has a good job, good equity? I mean, does that happen as they get into their 30s and 40s? Because all I know is that children someday is all I see.
It's almost a perfect dividing line. Once they get above 35, they're getting baby rabies and they're starting to panic and they want to, beat the shot clock in terms of pumping out a kid. Right. So almost invariably they're like, looking for a responsible guy to connect, tired of dealing with losers, which I can't believe. Yeah, I can't believe you would say that in a profile that's like, well, I've had my fun and I'm not looking.
No, I'm willing to let your stupid little shrimp dick come inside me and I hate your guts and you're not fun, but I need a guy with. I mean, really, it's very thinly veneered.
We all know what that is, but for some of them to say that, I can't believe you're being open about it on these.
Dude, there's some I've learned to accept what I do and do not control. I try anyway, with the help of booze, of course, and stoicism. But even the GF, who's a lovely, wonderful, you've met her, you know her, right?
Yeah.
A wonderful gal. Like, let me ask you this. What do you think is my greatest accomplishment in life?
Ooh.
If you had a rank at like, or maybe list the top 3 or whatever.
Well, we'd have to include your books, right?
Okay, okay. I write books. Books are one thing. Sure, I'm an accomplished author. I'll go with you on that. I agree. That's one of my greatest accomplishments.
Okay. The next one. This is probably number 1. Okay. Mm-hmm. You are a proud graduate of.
No.
That's not in the top 3.
That's not one of the. That's not even in the list. No.
Well, you're out of debt. You have an awesome GF that you've had for a while.
Okay, but remove her from. I'm talking Aaron Clary accomplishments. There's the books. Okay, so I'm an accomplished author. What else?
Like from my end, I would want to say fiscal responsibility. I don't know.
No debt, paid off house. Okay, that's a huge. I beat poverty. I would say that's my number 1 thing. I've done it on my own. No help from my parents. So I look, and I would say this crazy business that I have set up, like Asshole Consulting and the books and this and that and all that other stuff. A lot of that is luck and timing because this wouldn't have happened without the internet. But I look at that and say, you know what turns my girlfriend on the most?
Ooh, tell us. Like
working on a car.
Working on a car?
Yeah, like I'm replacing brake pads. So she's like, wow, that's hot. I'm like, dude, did you see me come from fucking behind like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl like 2 years ago, 3-25 with no fucking help from my parents, made all this fucking money, beat the fucking odds, lived in a basement, motorcycle riding and adventuring, writing a book. No, it's changing brake pads. And I'm like, really? That's what it is. Like none of this, like really, but that's what gets women. They like the masculines, which is understandable. They like masculine things. She likes to see me working, getting dirty, bust up a knuckle or something like that. But the gals like the bad boy because the bad boy would protect them. And I understand that. But then I look at this, they all want what turns them on versus what they want long term. Those are short term versus long term interests. And it's a night and day difference between what they viscerally want and then what they really need in the long term. I'm like, baby, you got both. I'm a good mechanic and I got good finances. But the finances were almost like this fleeting afterthought. I was like, all right, I'll just go wrench on bikes some more and lift more weights. And that's what they want. That's what they want.
I kind of struggle with this a little bit because, if you're about 35-ish, and you haven't been, in a long-term relationship or maybe even a widow, something like that. It's just hard for me to take you seriously when you say like, you're ready to settle down and have a kid, because this is something you could have done 10 years ago.
But they were having too much fun. They're getting too much good dick.
Right. And I struggle with this because it's like, I don't really respect you that much. And that's probably not a good thing because I'm sure there's women that had, legit reasons why they're single and want a good guy at 35. I'm not going to dismiss that. But most of the time it's just because they were having too much fun and they're done having fun.
What I have found, and over time that would be considered an injustice. Like now we're at the injustice stage. Like you and I did all the good guys did, and now the girls are finally ready to settle down. And the problem with looking at it across a linear timeline is there's a win and then a loss, or a loss and then a win. And what I've been trying to take is more of the stoic approach. I wouldn't say Zen or Buddhist, but there's balance in everything. I've learned this in economics. You physically see it in physics when you do physical calculations or molar conversions and everything, algebra, math has to balance. And I think that's a universal trait. There has to be balance everywhere. You voted leftist all the time. Wow, leftist destroyed your town. Holy shit.
The other thing.
Well, and so I'm trying to take a long-term, stoic, removed approach to this. There's balance. Now we get our comeuppance. Now all the guys make their money and the women are like, now it's time to settle down. Fuck you. You squandered your youth. But should you get angry or should you just accept balance? Like this is how the girls, for whatever reason, well, not for whatever reason, they wanted good dick. They wanted to be fucked by the really badass dudes. They wanted that genetic material. Now that, we could say, well, you do, but they weren't attracted to you then. They have every right to sleep with who they want, find whatever they want attractive. But now it's like, do you want to expend your energy getting angry or frustrated or flummoxed over that, or just accept it what it is and then live out the rest of your life making a lot of money?
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking about this in terms of anger or content. I'm just saying this is what is. And, that's why I'm always hesitant to really go all in with someone who's, quote, had their fun. It makes me kind of leery of them,
And I guess nobody wins in the end. I mean, I guess that maybe was wisdom in the olden days. Like your mother, your grandmother would sit you down and tell you about men and how they need to be nurtured and taken care of, and you better deliver sex. You better stay svelte and thin. I guess that's gone. But no matter what, no matter how much you want to skew it one way or the other, in any kind of balance of the universe, now the women are paying. I mean, Gen X is Generation Spinster, and I can't wait to see what millennial gals look like here in 10 years. But there will be ounce for ounce, calorie for calorie, microjoules to microjoules, a balance of equality and equilibrium that is attained. And I think men, the wisdom to make men is to not expend any more energy, maybe not even triumph or enjoy it. Like, look at that, no Nelson laugh, just almost feel pity for him. Like, well, your time is gone.
Look, man, there are so, if you go on these apps and, you set it to 35 and up, this is mainly 40 and up. It is so plainly clear that these women, like a ton of them, are never going to find a guy that's going to commit to them. And it's very depressing to look at. There's so many of them, especially in this city. And like we've talked about, there's definitely opportunities to capitalize off of this financially, a business idea.
Yes. When I have the energy. Yeah. No, it's sad. And they're almost impervious to any kind of reason or rationale.
Of course.
Because the investment made in them, I'd say the indoctrination, but the investment made over decades with literally trillions of dollars convincing women that no man, fish bite, whatever, the whole propaganda, careerism and all that. You're not going to undo that. And so now you just kind of watch. The train has so much momentum. There's not a force in the world that's going to stop it from going over the cliff. You know what is going to stop that train, though?
I would love to know.
The bottom of the cliff.
Oh.
That is what's going to stop that train. And so I kind of, and do you want to get in the way and try and tug at the train? It's just like, well, maybe just watch it careen off the cliff and say it's sad.
It's really sad, man. Like, once they, and not all of them, not all of them, but the majority of the ones that get to that stage, I mean, that's it. You're going to be alone forever.
Yeah. So. Well, and we know, I am amazed because we know a 10, or he was a 10 until he gained weight. And you know what? I don't blame him for gaining weight. Our firefighter buddy, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Was he not a 10? I mean, he's tall, he's good looking, got great hair, nicest guy ever, an actual firefighter, and then like a executive firefighter. I don't want to delve into his other. I mean, he's just this great man. And even he was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It was like, it doesn't get any better, ladies. And still had games and bullshit. And after a while, and then he's like, I can see why he threw in the towel. I can see why he gained weight. Why would he? Why? Go have some food. Go enjoy your fifth sense of taste. Eat some ice cream. Why? Because what, you got to find a nice gal? You're not going to find a nice gal. So I
was gonna say, and he was so busy the last couple of years, school and work on top of everything. So that was a factor too.
Well, but I just looked at this guy. I'm like, that guy should just be able to walk in anywhere and pick whatever girl he wants. And the stories he was telling me, I'm like, oh, fuck it. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I'm never going back. I'm not going back to Vietnam. I'm not. Never going back. And it is a defeatist thing, but it's also a stoic where you have to realize we don't control. If he can't do it, holy shit, that's a testament in this. There might be a gal out there, but certainly reel in your expectations if that guy can't make it. So, and
I didn't even mention all the single moms on these apps, and that just speaks for itself.
I don't. It is. I think for men of this generation, anyone listening, old or young, you're just the sit and watch generation. Yeah. This is so out of your control. You just let it happen. and don't get invested or excited about it. And just watch the show unfold. All right, let's get to Rob.
Rob for $10.99. Thank you. 1099 are here. I believe the silver lining of all this police defunding talk will be a split of the Democrat Party. Thoughts?
Maybe. I think the Republicans should throw some significant resources into, really run billboards. Republicans burning down 0 black and brown neighborhoods since 1854. I put together a meme. It didn't take off. This also presupposes Republicans have their head out of their ass, but it could split. It will split the Democrat Party on this issue. But
Progressive
I don't know.
versus, yeah.
How are the people going to vote?
Well, they're all going to vote for Democrats, of course,
right.
But
they're going to vote for free shit. So I don't see it changing at all.
It is kind of interesting. Is it schism or schism? There's like a separation, obviously, between between the very progressives and then the more moderate, I guess, Democrats, if that
blue collar, if that's even a thing, because that indicates you're working blue collar Democrat. But we know Democrats don't work.
The Bernie bros versus, I guess, the Biden, whatever.
Well, Biden never worked either. I'd even almost say like Bernie Sanders is a traditional labor, but he never worked either. I'm trying to think of not even Bill Clinton worked. When's the last time we had like a good old fashioned blue collar? Have the Democrats ever ran a non-trust fund baby?
Not in our lifetimes. I mean,
I'm trying. Well, Daley, I guess he was kind of union, obviously, even though he never worked. I mean, he must have had no calluses on his hands.
No, he was better than most, at least, in this terrible pool.
He was functional. Yeah. He was Democrat, but they were functional.
Okay. The next one is The Competent Man for $5. I suspect that if the USA didn't run $1 trillion or more deficits, that we would have no problem having work for everyone, plus immigrants, and want more in the USA.
They would have no problem having work for everyone, plus immigrants, and want more in the U.S. I don't know.
How are they related? I don't
know. I don't know how. Demand for labor. I do disassociate the money supply and inflation from the actual economy because money is a tool. It's hemoglobin. Like, Chad, if I pump you full of like an extra liter of blood, is that really going to change your body? No. If you donate a liter of blood, is that going to change your body?
And I do that regularly.
Right. But my point is, it doesn't matter how much money is flowing around. There just needs to be enough. Need price stability. I suspect that if the USA didn't run trillion, that we would have no problem having work for everyone. Well, we did have work for everyone. Unemployment was at 3.6% at one time.
Now it's 15% or something.
Well, that's aberrant. That's temporary. Glendon Cameron, by the way, everybody look him up. He's a good guy. He is Mr. Economic Eeyore. He's like, oh, we're all gonna die. And I love goading him a little bit because he hates Trump. Although I think he's no Democrat. He certainly votes his own way. But I like to goad him a little bit. I'm like, well, I can't help you. You're such a big Trump supporter. He's smart enough not to get agitated, but I get a look every once in a while. But he's so down on the economy. I'm like, dude, this is temporary. Relax. It'll go away. It'll come back. All right.
Chris in Phoenix won. Have you seen the slap across the world in Phoenix? I don't know what that is.
No, it's like a slap. Is it a woman slapping a guy? Slap?
It could have been that, yeah. I saw the one in Buffalo. But
slap across the world. Woman slaps customer in Phoenix store who grabbed her and berated her with racist language. This sounds like drama to me. I'm gonna have to read it. A woman was slapped in the face after telling another customer that she was going back to Mexico. Oh, it's a Karen. A Karen got slapped by it. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. So Chris in Phoenix, and then Karen's like shocked she got slapped. It's like this fat. I mean, it's the Karenest of Karens. It almost looks scripted. I wonder if it's real.
Yeah, there's a video here of it.
Yeah. Holy cow, look at that. And it's I'm against illegal aliens. I have that policy, but it's great. And the fat white woman. Oh God, it's such a Karen. She's really so Karen. She doesn't realize. Yeah, and then the gal slaps her. Which again, I'm against illegal immigration, but good for you, lady. You stood up to a Karen. All right.
I'm against Karens at all times.
Here's Jack. Jack Napier's fucking around here. See, this is why I'm gonna have to ban Jack.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, see what he's doing there. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thanks, Chris and Phoenix. Yeah, we saw that. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I never
normally don't side with the illegal aliens, but I side with the illegal alien on that one. Yes. She may not even been illegal alien. Could just been a Latina American. So.
Let's see who's next. It's Judd Grover for $5. In 2014, it was a completely different narrative. Hardworking black single mother Natalie Dubose finally opens her own bakery and rioters trash it. Yeah, like Ferguson. You know how 2014 was just like all full of shit.
Remember that? Natalie Dubose. Dubose.
Was it Michael Brown? Who was it that got shot? Might have been him.
Natalie Dubose. I don't see anything. I see a rotor agent. News. Minden. I'm getting nothing on Natalie Dubose. Oh, Natalie Dubose opened a cake shop in Ferguson. Then her pain went viral.
Oh, it got trashed, didn't it?
Well, here's this. Now I have a problem. She got purple lipstick.
Oh, so he said. It said link under the thing, but I don't see it.
Well, I got an article here. About 5 years ago, Natalie Dubose was on the job driving a regular route from the hotel to the airport when she had an aha moment. I was driving to the airport to pick up some hotel guests when this light bulb came on, recalls Dubose. I thought to myself, either you need to figure out what you're going to do that follows your passion. Okay, I'm already against her now. It's difficult to imagine anything but the face of Natalie's cakes and more. The Ferguson Bakery was in the thrust of national spotlight in the chaos. Killing of Michael Brown by a Ferguson police officer, 2014. And indeed, growing up, both seemed destined to be a baker. Now, she's just avoiding real work. I want to be a baker. I want to be I'm being serious. I just, and she, oh, look, you died. You have purple lipstick. Wow, lady. Don't tell me that's just like, hey, if I'm wild and crazy, I'll get attention. There's tells, Chad. There's tells where the people are lazy. Tells. Dad was an old school baker. This is a long, belabored article with a lot of flowery
like
language.
Fluff or
Dubose beat out 23 competitors for the building. And I guess it was burned down. This is too long of a touchy story for me. So what? So I guess she opened her bakery and the rioters trashed it. How much you want to bet Natalie is going to vote Democrat for the rest of her life because of her skin color?
I mean, that kind of go without saying.
I wish it didn't. Because that indicates some self-respect on the black community. Like, whoa, wait a minute. How much of the Democrat Party's fucked us over? Hey, look. Again, that's why I have my morning scotch. We'll start a new podcast called Morning Scotch with Cappy and the Man or whatever. Single mother. Of course, single mother. Of course. I don't care. She's lazy. She not dyed her hair. She uses purple lipstick because that's her being edgy. Instead of actually being edgy like a CPA or a conservative or libertarian black woman who doesn't have crotch fruit. How about that? You want to be edgy, ladies? You want to be a crazy wild rebel of a black woman? Stop having illegitimate kids. There's a rebel. It's like, you want to be a rebellious white kid? Hey, Chad, you know how to be a rebellious white kid today?
Actually do well in school and
don't major in stupid shit and don't get a tattoo. How about that? Whoa. Have a nuclear family. Holy shit. Maybe go to the mosque or synagogue or church. Holy shit. Don't commit crime.
I know. God forbid.
I don't care. Well, Natalie Dubose, good for her. I hope her voting left and living in a delusional world has cost her everything. And I'm sure a child isn't going to commit crimes. I'm sure she's not going to be raising a grandchild because her crotch fruit made more crotch fruit, which begat crotch fruit with the Epic of Enoch or whatever the Bible said.
Which, of course,
remember that thing in the Bible?
What?
The father. Remember, like the Bible, so begat such and such, and so forth begat so and so. That's just like, this lady, she begat such and such, and then raised her grandchildren, and then raised her great-great-grandchildren. Dr. Khan Bloggerbuck.
That might be Ray John. I'm not sure, but yeah, $1.
Yeah, what happened to Ray John? Where'd he go? I kind of miss him.
He's still around, I think. I think that's him,
right,
actually.
All right, maybe that's his new incarnation. Buddy, Troy.
Troy for $2. Troy Kostelecki, $2 for the Cappy retirement fund.
I follow him on Instagram, and he had some very nice pictures of his family. And Kostelecki, that's kind of a unique name. And so there was another gal that followed me. I forget her first name. I'm like, Kostelecki. I'm like, this is either his sister or his wife. And I followed back. She's like, oh, my husband, like, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's Troy's wife. So I followed him. And he had like a nuclear family. And he was, can you believe this, Chad? He was spending time with his children.
What?
Yeah, he's spending time with his crotch fruit. He was like teaching his daughter. I think it was a bonfire. Maybe they were fishing or something. But he was like, you could see by his body language, he cared about his daughter. He didn't just make a sperm deposit into the wife, thus born the crotch fruit, and then he ran off, and he was like a total dick. Like he was investing in his child. It was actually nice to see. He took his family on vacation. It was really cool.
Cool.
If I recall correctly, they went to an area of Utah I haven't been to, so I have to look. It's called the Little Grand Canyon. So I gotta look that up. So he did a little more adventuring than I did.
Next one is
Now, do you know what the CHF is? Do you know what that is for currency, Mr. CPA man?
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I'm so ashamed of you. I'm so ashamed. CHF. It's a unique one. It's harder.
CHF, man. Is this a country I possibly may have been to?
Maybe. I'll tell you this: the acronym does not represent the spelling of this country at all. And I'll give you another huge hint. It's Germanic. But they do speak 4 languages. A variant of Latin is one of them.
Switzerland,
yes.
So this is Swiss francs? Is that what
Swiss
it's called?
francs. Yeah, I don't know why it's CHF. I'm sure it's like or whatever.
Isn't this like more than $10.99 in dollars?
I don't know. No, hang on. CHF to USD. Let's take
stuff the dollars.
Yeah, it's 1-to-1. It's 1-to-1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's basically $10 and change.
Oh well, thank you, ROFL MAO.
Yeah, so you got a German in Rossmachling,
Hyben,
Volkswagen, Ubermensch.
Well, he says that good news, manlets. I guess that's us.
That's us, apparently.
Bragging here instead of to friends. Just what? We're not friends? Just reached $170,000 in cash and gold at 27. $80,000 more to retire in Eastern Europe, hopefully in 2021. I still don't have a car, laughing my ass off. Also, redheads for the win. I don't have a car either.
This is like your Swiss equivalent. This is like your Swiss brother. Because you don't have a car. I don't know, you don't have that much of a cold position. You don't have precious metal position like that, do you?
Not like
that you would say, yeah. Do you have precious metals? Do you have 200 ounces of silver like I tell everybody to have?
I do not have the requisite 200 ounces.
Okay. But he's like you. You like redheads, right?
Well, remember, certain ex-girlfriends of mine were reddish in the hair.
That's right. Yeah, you might have.
But it doesn't mean I'd never go for them. I'm not.
Right. Just might have like some flashbacks. We all have our Vietnams, don't we?
Yeah.
some more poignant or stark than others. All right. This guy here. Do you know this Juan Yacker? Juan.
I've been Facebook jailed. Reason I'm the meme lord. God. I love some of the friends of ours that post stuff on Facebook.
Did you see what he was posted on Twitter?
I don't go to Twitter much. What was he posting there?
Juan came up with a hell of a doozy. He took the picture with the cops on top of George Floyd or Lloyd.
Oh yeah.
And instead of Lloyd's face, it's my face with my cigar. But he turned it nice, so it looked like that. And they just put this big black guy with a huge black dick right on my neck.
Oh.
Everyone was. I hope I didn't offend you too much. Like, oh fuck no, man! Just it's free game. It's fair game. But he got me good. He got me good. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
That's it. We're caught up. Let me pull up
article time.
I don't know. Do we want to go through? It doesn't matter. It's all bullshit news anyway.
I like the news. You like the news?
Do you like the news? I like the news. You ready for are you the epitome of cuckery?
We already talked about the mayor of Minneapolis.
Well, it's related to, you all thought I was joking about Minneapolis, like, it's just this far-flung, Midwestern place. No, it's a Target pledges $10 million to social justice rebuilding efforts after George Floyd's death. The money will go towards nonprofits, other organizations. Now, let me ask you something, Chad. Have you ever heard of Danegeld?
That doesn't sound familiar.
Danegeld, Denmark Geld. It was the Vikings were coming in and raping and pillaging all of Europe. Let's get rid of Juan here. We don't need Juan here. No one wants to see his face. And the Vikings would come in and they rape and pillage. And I think it was maybe it wasn't Denmark or whatever, but one of the mainland European coastal towns says, we'll pay you gold to go away. All right. Now, what happened? Let's see if you can figure out human nature here. What happened?
So I'm going to say that they obviously took the gold and then they either left or came back or never
left. And what happened next year when it was sailing season?
So they came right back.
They came right back. Guess what they had? So guess what happened to the people paying the Danegeld?
They had to pay them again, or they got screwed.
Oh, they got raped. Yes.
Yeah.
And this is just Target, which I cannot emphasize enough how we don't have to read through the article. I cannot emphasize enough how much this is also related to Scandinavia, but on the reverse side, modern day Scandinavia, because Minnesota is originally populated with Scandinavian culture. But also how much this is Minneapolis, Minnesota culture, where these people are just self-loathing pussy motherfuckers. 24 stores were closed in the Twin Cities, Target stores.
Targets. Okay.
A bunch of them were pillaged, literally raped and pillaged. Well, not maybe raped, but they were pillaged.
They were. It was all over TV when that happened.
All over TV. And instead of saying fuck you and having a standard and having a spine, these spineless Gen X managerial fucks, because now it's not the boomers anymore in charge. This is Gen X, who thought diversity and everything was the modern day marketing strategy. They are, dude. You want to, how can women stay with abusive men? Apparently, here's the answer. It is again, I am cripplingly depressed by the statement that people will destroy their own neighborhood. Black, white, Hispanic, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm like, why? Why? This goes beyond race. This is a mental illness now. Why are you destroying your own neighborhood? You got people on your side. They agree the guy should be arrested and trialed. And now you destroy. Why? And now here it's the same thing, but this is a larger multi-billion-dollar corporation where it's the gal like, I'm going back to my abusive boyfriend that not she claims beats him. There's that. Well, he treated me like shit and beat me. Did he really? No, she's got the fucking black eye to show for it. and they're going to go back and they're going to give their boyfriend money. It just shows you, it's the badassery. They're not owned by the shareholders of Target Corp. They're owned by, I don't know, the thugs and ghetto trash. They're just going to beat them up. They're owned by politics. They're owned by guilt. They're owned by soul. And it is so typical of me because it's a Minneapolis-based corporation. Their corporate leadership is like a bunch of Mayor Fries. It's a bunch of Jacob Fries.
Yeah.
And so their solution is fuck you. What? Let me ask you this, Chad. You're a CPA. You're a smart guy. A lot of business sense and acumen. If you were the CEO of Target, what would you do? I know what I would do, but I'm kind of curious what you would do.
I would just get out of Dodge. I mean, I would think that's the obvious answer, but what do you think?
How would you get out of Dodge?
How? Okay. The stores that have already been like burned or pillaged.
Right.
Those are fine because you don't have to do anything with them.
You're not rebuilding those.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Sell the land, whatever. Section 8 housing to developer, you just walk away. Okay.
And this is happening in the South Side here as well for what got destroyed. So you're asking like what else I would do with
what else would you do?
So you want to get them out of the city.
Well, hang on. I'm going to go get a coffee. You sit and masticate this, not masturbate, masticate it, and I will come back and see if you have the correct answer. Because I have the correct answer because I went to the Carlson School of Management. Carlson School of Management. So, but we'll be back in a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some water. Right, so I'll be back too. Yeah.
When she walks, she's like a samba that sways so smooth and oh so gentle, and boopy doopy doop
passes each one she passes goes
what a pretty beautiful chickie babe. Gotta cool off my coffee.
Tangled up here.
That's all right. It's not a professional show. Technically, it is a professional show because we're getting paid.
I was Zooming with a client the other day, and I actually, even though it didn't work when you were here, she was like, "Oh, you have a microphone? That's cool." This thing.
Well, what is that cool? Does that turn her on?
For some reason, she thought it was cool. She's like, "You must be a professional at this," and I'm like,
really?
Far from it.
Yes, yes, I'm big time professional. Although I like Rob's idea. Rurb, Kentucky man, you should do your own show.
Like I was saying on there when he suggested it, I'm not the type that can just kind of bloviate an amp like long term. I need to let other people do that. So
come on, Chad, you can do it. Come on,
boost the signal.
Boost the signal. You know how you do, Rob?
How?
Just act like you gotta take a big massive shit. Then you wear a do-rag. That's
man.
I can bust his balls. You were fine. You were fine. All right. What is the solution to Target? What should Target CEO have done? What should he or she have done? I don't know.
So you're saying after the fact, after
you have to close 24 stores. Let's say 2 or 3 are destroyed. Others are boarded up. Okay. And your corporate headquarters in the Twin Cities. What do you do as a CEO?
I mean, I would get the hell out of there, at least as far as the corporate headquarters.
There you go.
Oh, is that the answer?
You're going to defund the police? Target's headquarters is downtown. Your fucking degenerate citizens, some of them, not all of them, not the majority. You destroyed our property? Fuck you. Fuck Minnesota and fuck the Twin Cities. You get the fuck out of there. You go set up in Vegas. You go set up in Texas. You go set up overseas. I don't know, wherever. You definitely move your corporate headquarters. And you say, fuck you, Fry, and fuck the city and the citizens of Minneapolis. How dare you destroy private property? You want to go to Walmart. If a Walmart will even set up shop there. Fuck you, we're out of here. And not only are we out of here with our stores, we're out of here with our corporate jobs too. What did they do? Go ahead.
Well, just real quick, there was some article, I was just reading it yesterday. There's some manufacturer, a big manufacturing plant. Did you read this too? Or that
I got that. Like, we got plenty of articles to go through. We don't even have to talk about the articles because this is, what do we have to talk about? It's common sense. You destroyed my shit. Fuck you, bye. You punched me in my face. Fuck you, bye. You tried to kill me. Fuck you, bye. This isn't, now every effete little pussy journalist at the Star Tribune and the Pioneer Press is going to try and spin it. Oh, you got to learn about healing. It's like, no, you destroyed my fucking shit. Fuck off. Bye. We got to. So that's, but continue on. I want to know what your reaction would be.
No, that was really it. Like, he's just kind of like what you said. He's like, look, we've been here forever. We watched it burn down. We're getting out of here. There's no reason to be here.
Right. I'm not a big economist, but and I'm not a big UN guy or an IMF or these international, economist agencies. But you know what? One thing they did back in the day, at least, you know how you trigger economic growth most rapidly?
How would you do that? I would guess, providing jobs for people by putting businesses there.
It's not. No. You're the government. You don't create jobs. What are you going to just print off random, Chad bucks?
Yeah.
What generates incentive to build a business, to employ people, to produce fizzy widgets?
I mean, because you want to turn a profit. You're not doing it for charity. Am I missing something? Or?
No, you're on the right track. What do you do with your profits then? Chad makes $1 million at chadfizzywidgets.org or .com. Sorry. What do you do with $1 million?
You can either keep it for yourself or you can use it to invest in more capital and then create more jobs.
And you buy what with that? What do you take your money, your cash, your equipment, your house, your boat? What do we call those?
Assets.
And that is private property.
Oh, yeah.
It is yours. It is your finite life that you transferred into money and made profit off of, and you converted it into items that are yours, mine. Those are my things, my life. Did the city of Minneapolis protect people's private property?
No, they just let it burn.
And that's the number one thing. You have to enshrine private property rights. Otherwise, people have no incentive to work or save. I work up my money. You're going to confiscate it out of the bank account? Go fuck yourself. I'm not working. I worked up to pay off my house. You're going to property tax it to death? Fuck you. I'm not working. So the ultimate incentive for every individual economic agent is private property because that's their life. Now, we transfer our time or transact is the correct word. We transact our time into money. So it's a medium of exchange. But the surplus time that we have that presumably will go to retirement, or maybe we just want to have fucking fun with it, goes in the form of assets. It could be incredibly liquid like cash. It could be long-term like a house we live in. But if the government on the municipal level is not going to protect Omar's falafel shop, no, seriously, Omar probably had there's plenty of, that's why I talk to the immigrants, but you don't want to listen because Democrats give me money and freedom. Omar's coffee shop or Omar's falafel shop was not protected. The city of Minneapolis did not protect the rights. Was the Target Corporation's large multi-million-dollar property and its inventory therein protected?
Insane, man. So
then why should anyone invest in the Twin Cities or Chicago or where you're just not?
Like everything you're just saying, it was already bad on the south side before as far as being a desert for groceries and other types.
Right.
Nobody's going to invest in anything down there.
No.
And it's sad because the good people that are stuck there are now screwed. So
they should leave. That's why we always try and get young black men out of the ghetto, join the military, all the advice that we give here. But I'm sorry, guys, I know, guys and gals, but when do women listen? I know it's going to be tough to get out of there. I know, but you got to get out. This is why I recommend the military. We have Black Men's Got Out of Poverty, Worthless. I mean, this book right here, How Not to Become a Millennial, is very germane. But it doesn't matter what your race is. If you're poor, and you got to get out of that environment. But if you're still stuck there and, like Miss Purple Lips, okay, well, I'm going to run a bakery. I'm a single. Oh, fuck you. Go fuck off. You're not trying to get out. You're not going to generate the gravitational pull or the velocity to escape the orbit or the gravitation. You're not going to develop the velocity to escape the gravitational pull of poverty. You're a lazy fucking worthless quanta haha. You spat out a kid. You're crippled. Screw off your bakery. All right. That won't cut it. That's not going to get you escape velocity. Engineering, STEM, accounting, or simply not fucking up and being a truck driver. All right. The people still stuck in poor areas, fine. Too bad for you. And what percentage of them vote Democrat?
God, 99.9%.
All of it. Go fuck yourself. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
You keep pulling that lever D, the big D. Pull the big D, ladies and gentlemen. Go right ahead. See what happens. Fuck that the Republicans fought a fucking civil war to free the slaves and gave you agency and purpose. Okay? Well, not purpose, but gave you agency and freedom. Oh, but the Democrats promised us free money. Ha, ha, ha. Why is everything burnt down? Where's the food? I can't help it. I'm not responsible for NPCs. I can't help it if they can't figure this shit out.
I mean, one of my favorite stories was apparently there was a statue of Abraham Lincoln that got desecrated on this thing. Is that not the guy who kind of, ended slavery?
Well, see, it shows you that you're not going to reason with them. They're not. You don't sit them down. Say, do you realize that destroying your sewer system is bad for you? No.
Doesn't work.
Terribly sorry. Come to my neighborhood. You're dead, motherfucker. You're just fucking dead. And I'd like to reason with you. And hey, maybe you ought to help out your own community and not burn shit down. But if you're going to be this NPC robot and just go destroy things and try to kill me, I'm sorry. I got to put you down. Once it's legal for me to do it, it's not legal in the Twin Cities because, you have a duty to retreat. And oh my God, because the liberal white people voted in anti-gun laws. And oh my gosh, rapists could come into our house. They're just misunderstood. Please rape my wife.
Well, they already defunded the police, or they're going.
Yeah, you're going to defund the police. Oh, okay, have fun, boys and girls. And I do feel bad because there are some legitimate city dwellers who are trying to make a good go of it, and they're honest. And maybe, you know what? Maybe they just like their neighborhood. Maybe they love their family. They got a barber shop, or they, maybe it is a bakery without purple lip lady. Maybe it's the guy who was the firefighter who just wanted to run a bar and he loved his buddies. And I feel bad for you guys, but you get the fuck out. But as evidenced by Target, what's the best thing to do? What is the strategy now, Chad?
Out.
No. What's Target good? That would be the strategy. I'd be like, screw you guys. We're out of here. Go fuck yourselves. Target's never investing in this town again. And if any other town does not have police or cops and you're not going to protect our property, we're not investing in you either. We have a duty to our shareholders. Because ultimately, if the shareholders aren't getting a rate of return, what happens?
I mean, they're not even going to invest in it if you can't get something from it.
If you're not making a profit, what happens to the company? It goes belly up and there ain't no jobs, there ain't no supplies.
Did you see, I just mentioned this because of the defunding the police thing. Did you see that video or that story? I think this was in the Twin Cities. There were a few, liberal white protesters that were like, end the police. And they egged this guy's car. And the guy gets out of the car and he has a sword or something. And
no, he had a crossbow.
Or whatever it was. And immediately this group was like, call the police. It's like, you just said you were going to defund them. And then one of them's like, oh my God, call the police. That's like head splitting. The stupidity. I got
to leave my hands off of it. I don't want to kill anybody. I really don't. But for God's sake, you're so desperate, because it's a human being. You think there's a brain in there. Don't destroy your own town. Fine, go protest. You could even riot. Just don't loot your local neighborhood store so your grandma can still get her meds. Apparently not. Apparently that's impossible. And so you just gotta they're like zoo animals. They're like caged animals. It's just crazy. They're gonna they see meat, they attack it. You might as well be trying to reason and rationalize with a pack of wolves. So that's sadly the position they put themselves in. They have a brain. They have the ability to think independently. They choose not to.
Yeah. So if they it'll never happen here. But if the second I hear there's far less police and there's been defunded, that's when I'm getting the hell out of here.
Dude, you just go to, I don't know, Santa Fe, go to ironically Portland, go someplace.
Ain't going to Portland.
I have no problem walking away now. The apartment I live in is so far away, nothing's real. But if all of a sudden the states started getting we got to have an extra tax, I'm like, bye, goodbye. Nope.
Taxed enough already.
Nope, taxed enough already. And that's not my problem. You go fuck yourself. I'm out of here. And I would walk away from my mortgage because what are they going to do? Not my mortgage, my lease. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. You're Democrats. You're Minnesotans. You vote for this shit. Fuck off. You ruin my credit report.
You're not going to need that when your house is built.
No, I don't need to borrow money. I don't borrow money. So and I hate to do it to the owners of the property, but no doubt there's some Democrats there. No doubt they're married to wifey who Buffy's too good for my children at the public schools. D, the big D. Oh my God. Gotta suck Democrat dick.
John Steele in the chat. What's up, John?
What's up with John Steele? Did he donate money?
No, he wrote something in the chat, which I won't say out loud.
Okay. Does it involve echo?
No, but it's
for once it doesn't.
No.
Oh my God! He actually said something not about the Jews. Holy shit! Is John feeling himself today?
Well, this was about a different group, but
okay. Well, then that is John Steele. Yes.
We doing more super chats?
Yeah, we get through it, and I'll get to like some.
I think it starts there. Stephen Ochoa for $2. Where did the "Do you like the new" line come from? What? I like the news. You like the news? You remember how you did
that's Norm Macdonald's.
Okay.
Norm Macdonald. Yeah, he did this thing. I like the news. You guys like the news? And probably one of the finest pieces of comedy is his, and that's where it's from, is his shtick on Janice. So if you want to watch Norm Macdonald, search Janice, and he actually makes kidnapping and murdering a woman funny as hell.
Really?
Yes, it is dark as fuck humor, and you feel guilty as hell laughing. But he takes the murder of a woman and makes it funny. And I've posted it because it's just such a brilliant to thread that needle to make murder funny with cheese sandwiches. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So the introduction was, "Do you like the news? I like the news.
I like the news."
And so he leads in like, "Today a woman vanished. Back to you, Pop." And you have to watch it. It's just total Norm Macdonald interplay with the guy who's like, on the TV station and the guy in the field, and they're like, "How's out there, Bob?" "Oh, it's no inside, Jim, but it's all right." And you just have to, I can't do it justice here. I just can't do it justice. But that was Norm Macdonald.
I think DJ Aftershock is next. Did I miss anything? Nope.
DJ Aftershock.
Yeah, DJ Aftershock for $2. They have a class on streaming at the Carlson School. They probably have streaming online classes.
Streaming management studies. You could get. I saw there was like this advertisement I got on emails from you could take a seminar at the Carlson School of Management on leadership.
Yeah,
I still want to crash it. There's only so much time in the day, but I think an increasing amount of my time will be to destroy the Carlson School of Management. Like, I'll get the domain name carlsonschoolofmanagement.org, and then I'll just do a bunch of videos and like, "Hey, you can get this for free here. You can do this here. Nobody knows the Carlson School of Management outside of Hennepin County." Have you ever heard of the Carlson School of Management before I mentioned it?
Once or twice. I think you might have mentioned it as a key.
Yeah, but before me, I hate the Carlson School of Management.
I actually had.
Yeah.
I actually had heard of it before because there was a long time ago, I used to read the best of Craigslist's posts because there would be some funny ones. I don't even know if they still have them, but there was some bitter dude who was like sick of his job, and his wife like started cheating on him. And he was like, "She's on her third or fourth turn with guys at the Carlson School of Management." It was really funny. That was a few years ago, but that is how I'd heard of it for the first time.
Right. No one here. It's an echo chamber.
Yeah. When I was applying for business schools to get my MBA, that one never really popped up on my radar.
Did St. Thomas ever show up?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, exactly. But you got to understand, these are the two testes in the two cities of St. Thomas or the U of M, and you go private or public, and no one's ever heard of them. You know why?
Why?
Because the schools fucking suck. And you're not going to learn anything from them. Nothing.
My friend with the $300,000 in student loan debt.
How's she doing? She doing good?
We probably can do her taxes this week, but yeah, she's doing pretty well. I'm trying to remember the name of the school that she went to in St. Paul. That was just
Hamlin.
Yeah,
Hamlin. Yeah, yes. Yeah, shitty school.
I'll ask her why she went there, and not in a offensive way.
I don't know why anyone goes to that school. It's like a private school, but it's a shitty private school. It's not a bad part of town, but it's not in a great, it's kind of a shitty part of town.
Yeah.
But there's no reason, like Hamlin, you're kind of like, why? You missing some chromosomes? What's going on? Why you go to Hamlin? It's not a great school.
Is it near, where'd we go? Is it near Mancini's?
No, it's smack dab in the middle between Minneapolis and St. Paul. So Atham looked this up. There's a road called Snelling. Snelling is basically the midpoint it's equidistant between downtown St. Paul, downtown Minneapolis. Technically, it's in St. Paul. Runs straight north all the way up into the suburbs, almost to the WBL where I used to live.
WBL.
White Bear Lake. And it's right there off of Snelling, south of, what is Larpenteur? It's kitty corner, if I recall correctly, to the state fairgrounds. No, that doesn't matter. Nobody's going to go there. Don't bother going to Hamlin. It's a shit school. Don't waste your time.
I don't get why it's so expensive, though. I mean,
because it's a private school. Kids are dumb, man. They'll spend the money. Oh, it's a private school. We have this, like Middlebury. You ever hear of Middlebury? It's in Vermont.
That's that liberal arts school, isn't it?
Holy shit. The dumb shit people that blow a wad of money on that crap school. I mean, if we go to Middlebury, let's go to Middlebury right now. How much you want to bet they're like sucking Black Lives Matter dick?
I mean, everybody is at this point.
Oh yeah, no, it's impossible for me. Middlebury. COVID updates. They got a COVID update, Chad.
Oh my God. What now?
There's no statement for current updates on COVID-19. Maybe they are a liberal arts college, so they're so lazy they're behind the times. They haven't come up with their "we support black." Chad, do we hate black people?
Of course not.
Do we want the black man to suffer?
No, I don't want anyone to suffer.
Here's a declaration for our support of black. Do Black Lives Matter?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Their lives. Now fuck off. That's basically fuck off and stop destroying shit. Yes. Cops. Chad, should cops kill people?
No. I mean,
no.
I would hate to see cops killing anybody.
Should black people suffer? Should there be cops indiscriminately killing people? No, we're all good with that. Now fuck off. Stop majoring in stupid shit. Stop having kids you can't afford. And that's not you. That's to everybody.
Yeah.
So now Middlebury's going to tell us about COVID-19. They don't even have their we're not racist disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go to current students. God, this looks Middlebury. Oh, so you can log in. There's news. Would you like to see the news from Middlebury College, formed in 1800?
I mean, I like the news. Do you like the news?
Yeah, I like the news. Do you guys like the news? If their website would load up.
Too many damn videos. Anything you click on, there's some video you don't want to see.
Okay. What do you want to hear about? 12 students and recent graduates offered Fulbright fellowships. Students assist with Mayan language revitalization project.
Mayan language.
You want to click on this? Here we go.
What?
Students assist with a Mayan. Well, and it's a bunch of. I think they're in Peru. There's a white guy, privileged, no doubt, like legitimately privileged, and he's talking to a bunch of what I think are Peruvian young girls. It looks like an all-girls school. Middlebury, Vermont. Sarquiric. Good morning. See how they taught you the Peruvian language? Huh? That means good morning. Did you get that, Chad? So began presentations to grade schoolers in Nahula, Guatemala, by 4 Middlebury students as part of a Mayan language revitalization project this past January. The project was led by Associate Professor of Luso-Hispanic Studies, Brandon Baird. The school kids would always laugh when they heard us speak Quiche, said senior James Finn. A lot of the kids and just people in general see Americans expect them to speak English. So when they heard us speaking in Spanish, they were surprised. And then when they heard us speaking, Quiche, it was like, whoa, what's going on here? Look at what those crazy white kids from the suburbs did down in Guatemala, huh, Chad? Look at that. That's going to get those kids out of poverty, right? Because fuck sewer systems are engineering, right? We just got to teach them their language that was dead for a fucking 1,000 years when Cortez came in. Well, not Cortez, but the smallpox wiped everybody out.
I just don't get how this does anything positive for not just society, but the world.
Does it make rich white people from the suburbs feel good? Does it make the Jacob Fries feel the vag tingles of their vaginas?
For some reason it does, but
that is all that matters. That is all that matters. How many white people, to point out how much we actually do care about black people, how many white people have masturbated themselves claiming to help the black man or the black woman by just not holding anybody up to standards, just giving everybody what they wanted and defunding the police? How has that helped out with the black community in the inner city?
Oh, well, Nothing good has happened.
Nothing good.
We've seen riots and
let's say pre-riot, lowest standards of living ever. But you know, Betsy Hodges, who was the mayor before Jacob Frey, she felt really good because she said nice things to the black community, and she got her vag tingles off. And guess where she's from, Chad?
The Carlson?
No. What town? What town in Minnesota is she from?
Minneapolis or St. Paul?
No.
Or WBL?
No. She comes from an elite privilege, truly elite
I got it.
privilege. No, you're good. Okay, let's see if you got it. It's one or two.
Is it every day I need attention?
It is not the Edina, but very close. It's new money. New money.
Do we go through this?
We did go through it. There's a big lake there.
Oh, Minnetonka.
That's Lake Minnetonka. What surrounds the northern half of it?
Oh, and it's not the WBL.
It's not the WBL. WBL's north of St. Paul.
Dude, I am drawing a blank.
The Wayzata.
Oh yeah. The
Wayzata. Yes. And look at how Betsy Hodges helped it. No, all she did was ruin their lives more. Just extended the pain and punishment.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we got that on the Carlson.
Wayzata. That's all related.
Yep.
Yep. So the next one is, it looks like Nick Schulaner, and he says, who said for $1.99, who says you have to do long shows? You'll do fine. He might be talking to me about having my own show.
I think you could do a short show. Yeah.
I don't know. I like being on things like this, guests and stuff.
Dude, do you think I wanted to be a ballroom dance instructor, an author, or a podcaster?
I think maybe you wanted to be an author, but I don't know about the other two.
I didn't want to be an author. I hate writing. I hate reading. I hate literature. I hate English. I just hate everything about it. I made money not doing what I wanted, but what people oddly enough paid me for. To teach dance classes, to entertain them with the fart and shit show we got going on here. To write books. It doesn't matter what you want, man. It doesn't matter. You could be a great podcaster. You just haven't tried it yet.
Well, as a wise person once said, work is not meant to be fun.
It's not meant to be fun. So what is the number one employment that most women should be doing right now to make the most amount of money?
Wow, that's a good question. Something related to STEM or...
I'm going to pause this again. Let's go. You go get yourself a beer. I'm going to go fill my coffee up again. And then you come back. We'll find out what the number one employment for women is. Not should be. This is not a moral question. That's a little hint. Morality has nothing to do with it. This is 100% opportunist, Machiavellian, and practical. All right?
I've already got some things coming to mind.
All right. Come through your head. We'll go get some coffee.
All right.
When she walks, she's like a samba who sways so smooth and oh so gentle. And each time she passes, every guy goes, oh, oh. However, the rest of the song goes, do-do-do-do. Oh, I can't remember the lyrics, do-do-do-do. But if you are an asshole, you can make them up as you go, because your lyrics knowledge is blow. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the Chadwick from Chicago goes plugging his earphones in his ears, and he does taxes.
Little detour to the restroom. So this it's a very, very light beer, and it's very good.
Daytime. Well, then you're allowed to drink it, so it's daytime.
Yeah, and the ABV is so low. Like I normally don't do this, but this is not going to prevent me from running, a little bit later.
Well, if you no, I've thrown it in the towel. I've been really trying to chill out, and I sit out in my patio and I go for walks.
Yeah, well, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. All right. What is it that women can do to make a lot of money?
So I thought of this in two different ways. I'm going to say either be a housewife, a wife.
Okay, that's not practical. That again, that's not strong, independent woman.
We're sticking with that.
We're sticking with reality.
I know the answer.
All right.
Become a conservative YouTuber, and you're really pretty, and then you show your titties. Is that it?
All right. I was just gonna say show your titties online.
Show your titties. Yeah.
The flavor that you mentioned, there's multiple flavors, special niches by which you could exponentially increase your, like, dude, what if you, okay, here's an idea. I'll just give it out to the ladies for free. Okay. What if a girl was like, Communist Cummings, and she's got big tits and she just wears a Che Guevara. She's got the star and the sick, like, hey guys. So like the opposite of a conservative thought, a commie thought. What if it was a commie thought? I mean, and you don't even have to believe it, just like conservative thoughts don't believe in that. It's like, hey guys, I'm like totally for guns and Ronald Reagan in America. Yay. Red, white, and blue. But instead of a red, white, and blue bikini, it's just a star and sickle, like little pasties right there or something like that.
I was gonna say, like, I got caught. There were so many freaking protests around here the last few days, and one was right in my office in the entrance, and I couldn't really get there.
Right.
So I hung out for a bit, and I noticed that there were women in there who I don't think really give a shit about whatever they were protesting. It wasn't George Floyd; it was somebody else who died. And yeah, they were there like flaunting their titties, short shorts, and taking pictures, Instagram. I think they were just trying to virtue signal online. But
women were trying to virtue signal and get attention?
I admit I was shocked too, because that never happens.
You better pound down the rest of that beer. That is shocking. I am very shocked. No, for any woman that's listening, I've given up. Because they're not going to. What in the ideal world, what would you, me especially, but what would you and I generally recommend women, young girls we care about? What would you recommend they do to make a living?
So if we're not saying, show your titties online.
Your younger sister, someone you care about, your little cousin, and little rat brat kid sister. What would you recommend this little girl, or maybe a young lady you actually care about? What would we recommend they do to earn a living?
So a few things come to mind. Could it be like, you're not talking about be a nurse or a teacher?
Nothing wrong with a nurse, right? No, not teacher. No, I want them to make a living. I don't want them like fucking panhandling and sucking dick on the side because their teacher's salary doesn't pay enough. All right, I don't want them becoming Marxist. Nursing's a good thing. What else?
I mean, I was going to say be an accountant, but I got to be honest with you. And I hate this about my job. I find so few attractive female accountants for whatever reason. They're just,
Doesn't matter if they're attractive. You got a little kid sister, okay? Related or not. There's this little girl here in your life. You want her to do well. What do you recommend she does?
God, do not major in something that's worthless.
There you go. Okay.
Was that the answer? Or?
No, it's the same thing I recommend to men.
STEM, jobs.
STEM, accounting, STEM. Surgeon, doctor, nurse, military, whatever else. Okay.
No, major in something worthwhile.
Right. Why do I want them to do that?
Because then you're actually able to earn a living, when the time comes to get out of school.
Right. They're making money. And what do they not have to resort to?
They don't have to become a cam girl or anything.
Show their twat on the internet.
Yeah.
They don't have to resort to. Now, I'm not against sex workers. Very pro sex workers. Okay, go do it. How many young ladies listen to me?
I'm going to say between 5 and 10%.
Say 0. Let's just go with 0. Let's.
Oh, I thought you meant audience.
MJ's kid might listen to me. The MJ's kid is like programming already, so I got a little bit of hope. There's like this faint glimmer of hope. This might be the chosen one, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm trying to teach the Force to this Anakin Skywalker, but it's going to betray me. I'm like, no, you're the chosen one. But anyway, that aside, I have no hope. So now, new Stoic Aaron. I don't control things. Going to have morning Scotch Clary. What do I recommend women do now since they're not going to listen to Plan A?
Did we already say this? Or
right?
Yeah, you got to get yourself online and use your pretty looks. If you're pretty, even if you're not, I guess.
Even if you're not, no.
My clients, most of them are not pretty that do this work, and I don't understand.
They make 100,000 plus.
Just a couple of them. One of them in particular, I don't understand how she's getting the 6 figures like that because she doesn't have a very good body. Her face isn't that great, and frankly,
she got hustle. She got a niche, a fetish, a thing.
I can see the expenses, so it's interesting. I can't really see anything that she's doing that's out of the ordinary. I guess she's just doing it a lot. Like she does it more than some of the other girls.
She got work ethic. Okay, good for her. So ladies, since you're not going to listen because math is hard, let's just simplify it and boil it down to that. The basics. Math is hard. Go show your tits on the internet. There you go. That's it.
I hate that, this is the honest answer on how they can really get out.
I know, but you still have a soul left to you. You still have some morals and capacity for being a human. I'm trying to get beyond that. I wanted women to major in engineering and STEM. They don't listen to me. And so now we have to go to this more Machiavellian practical result because at least maybe they'll listen then. Will it destroy their lives? Probably. Will they save money, like a rental property in Vegas? No. Will they come back and ask for more government bailouts as they're a drugged out, spinster 43-year-old? Yes. But did we get yelled at?
It's really depressing every time, one of these girls comes in, and you can just tell year by year, because some of these I've been doing for a few years now, their eyes just look a little more dead.
Sink?
Yeah, just sort of like, you can tell that they've lost like a part of themselves. I'm not knocking them for finding a good way to make a living, but I do know it's affecting them, like, at least psychologically, very negatively.
I'd have no problem with it if they were mercenary about it and save the money, but they're not saving the money, right, Chad?
Too many of them are spending it wildly. Because I ask them, I'm like, why couldn't you make these estimated tax payments? Like you had enough money to do the quarterlies. Oh, I spent the money. We went to Greece, blah, blah, blah.
Greece.
Like, yeah.
Chad, I don't care how much of my tits I show on the internet. I'm not taking you or any of my other friends to Greece. Okay. We're not going to Greece. We're not going to Greece. No.
Didn't you go there? Or was that?
No, I went to Italy.
Italy. Okay.
Horrifically let down. And right now, Adam Pigot's rolling in his grave. Like, oh, I could have showed you. Like, yeah, okay. Our pet kangaroo. We know. But no, it's sad. You just got to let him go. So let's get to some super chats. Maybe there's like some happiness here. The black community destroying itself. Immigrants coming to America only to live in this shithole disaster they left. Women just not listening to traditional. What? Maybe there's some happiness here on the super chats.
I'm hoping so. Been a little bit dark. So the competent man, is that where we left off?
I think so. Yeah.
Let me just make sure. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Can you believe there is a hashtag shutdown STEM on Twitter? I mean, everything on Twitter is kind of like a cesspool.
Yeah, I can believe it. I don't know if I'd follow it. STEM is that's your way to freedom. That's your way to independence.
God, this is
why I don't go black or white. You are children is his sight. Jesus loves the STEM majors of the world. You ever have that song when you were a kid growing up?
That one does not sound familiar.
Jesus loves the little children. You never heard that song?
Oh, Jesus loves the
little children. All of the children in the whole wide world, be they yellow, black, or white. They are children in the sun. Jesus loves the little children of the world. But yeah, it's STEM majors love the little children. Don't major in liberal arts bullshit. You can go and major in this and go major in that. Then you don't be a fucking idiot twat. So it's the modern day version of that. So I don't know what the shutdown STEM hashtag is on Twitter.
Hashtag. I never look at what's trending or whatever.
No, I don't want to know what's trending.
So now we have Judd Grover for $2. Would you consider Las Vegas the last U.S. free city?
Not really, no, but it's going to have some resilience because it's casinos, it's vice, it's debauchery. There's the mafia. That's the ultimate form of the private sector. But it's this quasi gray area where vice is legal. So I think it's one of the larger. It certainly is the largest. It's the largest free city. They're the freest large city you're ever going to find in the United States. Because people kind of got this attitude like, yeah, we're the city of vice. So that mentality oversees or at least influences whether you're a Democrat or Republican. And they voted Democrat last time. But there's still this like, leave us the F alone libertarianism there. But they're free cities, it's going to be small little towns.
Yeah.
Where you roll up with your fucking, Jacob Fry, Mayor Fry. Hey, let's do the touchy-feely thing. And all of a sudden, you disappeared. Where'd Jacob Fry go? I don't know where he went. He was heading that way, officer. Maybe if you go fast, you'll catch up to him. But I don't know where the body went because there's no body. He just left. He just disappeared into the air.
So incredibly pathetic.
Yeah. Well, don't hate on him. He's not a. We gotta. I'll give him a little bit of leniency here. You think that guy's ever had an independent thought in his life?
No.
No, he's just a thing. He's just a thing. He's not an independent-minded guy. So, all right.
Nick. He was on the stream I did with Bacon, a few days ago. For $2.99. What are these quote jobs you speak of?
They were around 6 months ago until all the Democrat governors decided to shut down the economy in their own respective states.
Yeah, geez.
I got like 2 email requests. Like, I can't find a job. I've been applying for 2 months. Was it the coronavirus maybe? Huh? And they're like, oh, you think that's it? Yes, dumbass. These millennial kids, they're younger millennials, maybe Gen Zers. But it's like, yeah, that's why you're not finding a job, dude. There's a coronavirus. Did you see the news? Do you pay attention? Did you study economics? You probably did, but it was a leftist variety. So
I do feel bad for some of the college graduates. They're just getting into the real world now.
Fuck them. I graduated into the .com crisis. Fuck that. I don't give a shit.
I graduated the year after, like in 2002, when 9/11 had like tanked everything. So
yeah, that too. Yeah.
Nonstop Dre, who I
hate the black people, by the way. Do you think?
Well, I was saying I think, but I'm not sure that he's 6'2", and women find him attractive. I might have heard something
because of his enormously large black penis. Is that probably why?
Maybe he'll tell
us. The fucker's got no personality. I mean, he's a Marine. He's a grunt. He doesn't know anything. Mog hit stick. What's Dre got to say?
He asks for $5. Thank you for that. What would happen if just 25% of American citizens with guns formed a group and turned against the government to reduce taxes and change useless policies?
A lot of people would die. Yeah, it'd be a civil war. A lot of people would die. I don't think anything would really change, unfortunately. You might extend this experiment in freedom another 50 years. The technology is advancing so quickly that it spoils us. And what I found with economics and technology advancement is unless you suffer, unless you work hard. Hey, Dre was a Marine. He went into the military. I think he even was in Iraq. He was deployed. He's gone through this shit. Okay. So he, rubber hits the road. He forges himself as a man and has a work ethic. What would we do? We'd like maybe cut government, maybe there'd be a generation of single moms that have to like go and work for a living, and what? Then they resort to prostitution because there's the corporate investment. A lot of people think, we just cut off welfare. No, now you got this welfare class that's starving. They'll riot too. So now what? You got to kill them. You got your 25% of armed American citizens. Now you got to kill people. Frankly, I'm not for killing people. I'd have we introduce it much more. We cut things by 10%. Every year you're getting 10%. And in 10 years, you're going to have to support yourself. So everyone's got a decade to kind of prepare. You just can't shock people with the dousing of water like this. No, there'd be a lot of death, a lot of unnecessary death. But unless you rewrote the Constitution and put things in like the government cannot take more than 10% GDP, state, federal, or local. You are not entitled to, like, you'd have to get rid. No, it just be this. The Civil War would look cheery compared to this. So, I mean, you'd get your policy, whether there be people left over. I mean, half the people rely on government checks. Half your population is dead. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good. So, I don't know.
It'd be pretty bad. It wouldn't be clean because, you know, it's the blue versus the red. The blue are in these little pockets surrounded by red. It's not like the North and South. You know?
Be a lot of, I mean, it'd be a quick war, I guess, but you'd have a lot of dead people. I'm not necessarily for that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
But it may happen.
No. I don't.
No?
No.
Let's see who's next.
DJ Aftershock.
Yeah. DJ
okay, there you go.
Aftershock.
All right, there we go.
For $2. Chad should have went to Hamlin and what is
McAllister.
That? Oh, McAllister.
McAllister is this worthless, like, just somebody should drop a box of anthrax over there and just let all those worthless kids die. That's like where the most elite, snooty, leftist, worthless, parasitic liberal kids go to. Like the high school kid. Yeah. McAllister, Kofi Annan went there. If you remember him, he was a former UN secretary. McAllister is just a block in St. Paul of parasites. That's all it is. They're worthless kids.
This next one is Dre again for $2. Cappy only wants stupid people to suffer, and I agree. Stupid.
Yeah. I want hypocritical people to suffer.
Yeah, because some people can't help being stupid, you know.
Right. I don't want the guy with Down syndrome to suffer. He didn't do nothing. I do want intelligent leftists who, like, you know, Nancy Pelosi know damn well what they're doing. I want them to suffer.
Dre again. Thank you. $5. Cappy cares about blacks so much he gave me a free asshole consulting request, even though he's 25% cheap. Plot twist is brave and stunning and less racist.
Right there, Dre, right there. I didn't give him a free. It's because he's a military vet. That's why.
So he got a discount. I do that with my
military. Yeah, it's not because he's black.
Yeah,
I hate him because he's black. Because I'm a racist. We all hate him. Who likes him because he's black? But no, I gave him a discount because he's military vet. That's why.
I always like Marcus Brown's been back on YouTube lately. You ought to see some of his stuff. I know you don't like.
Well, what? I like Marcus Brown. Why don't I like Marcus Brown?
No, I'm saying I know you don't like to watch YouTube because you're working.
I got other. Yeah, this is my job. Yeah, no,
So DJ Aftershock again for $2. Drinking them light beers and eating wings. Wings would feel pretty. They taste pretty good right now.
But they would. I bet they would.
A little early in the day. Judd Grover for $2. Together we can make day drinking classy again. Yeah, it was classy. I'm not gonna.
You ever hear of the gin craze in Britain?
Mm-mm.
It was interesting. I listened to a documentary as I was falling asleep, so I didn't get all of it. But apparently, like, everyone was drinking gin to the point that they'd leave their kids abandoned. It was like a horrible thing. And I don't know if it was like gin was introduced to Britain for the first time and people just got addicted to it or what. But look at the gin craze. It's not a particularly pretty chapter in humanity. It's
Jim craze.
Gin. G-I-N. Gin. Not Jim. Gin. The booze.
Half dollar one for $1.99. Another satisfied customer from Asshole Consulting. You have a lot of satisfied customers.
I do have a lot. I love the emails I get, like, hey, Cappy, because we're coming up on 7 years now. We're almost we're 6.5 years. I get some emails now like, hey, I was going to major in this, but you changed my life, and now I'm making 65 grand as, a computer programmer or whatever like that. So that actually does make my day. That helps me out. Thanks, guys. Thanks for emailing me those. I really appreciate it.
You sent me this block text. Was that a couple days ago? Did you actually do a video or on that one? Maybe you don't remember.
That one, well, I send you, anytime I get a block text, I send you a picture because I know it agitates you.
Oh yeah, sometimes I wake up to it.
It angers you, makes me feel better. So it's like me, sucking the lifeblood out of you. I don't think I did get a response from that guy. And I'm charging basically $100 a pop for those because I too am slightly agitated. And I know this may shock you, Chad, but when they don't use paragraphs, they may not have the greatest of questions and it may not be scripted very well. And there's a lot of labor that goes into trying to figure out what the fuck they're asking. So I do charge a lot for that now. So
I got a question for you.
Yes.
I just looked at, the chat that we're on with Atham. What the fuck were you doing up at 3:39 a.m.?
Oh, I couldn't sleep. I was
sleep?
up. No, I just woke up. Don't you ever wake up at night? You got to go pee, and then you're like, No,
I mean that does happen, but I mean I can go right back to sleep after that. But yeah, I'm just now looking at this, and I'm like, wow.
That was me on the toilet, right? Giving you guys the finger
at 3:39 a.m.
Well, I had to take a shit at 3:30 a.m. I figured I'd share. What? Just want to keep you guys updated. That's all. Clear your shit schedule. That's all.
Well, Atham, I'm sure, was awake because he's awake. 1,000 hours a day
all the time. Yeah. So, who's this guy? Do we keep letting the black guy in? Jesus,
he's
the black guy.
Dre. These are awesome. I
love the GI Bill money we're getting from Dre. Woo! I get my tax dollars back.
GI Bill. Oh, there we go. Good news for Cappy. I'm starting a 14-week coding boot camp next week using my GI Bill to fund it, and I'm getting paid a housing allowance to learn code. Didn't he ask us earlier if he should do this?
Yeah. And 14 weeks, that's pretty serious. But I'm wondering, he was doing electrical engineering or computer science, right? I'm kind of, but maybe because schools are closed down, this is the next best option for him.
Well, yeah, 14 weeks is what, like 3 months, 3.5 months. So it's probably just right in there in the summer.
Yeah, maybe a summer. Yeah, maybe a summer semester. Why do we recommend that Dre, being a black man, go into STEM and engineering? In the military? I mean,
you could get a very good job, and I'm just going to say it based on your demographic.
No. Why you're missing the larger philosophical point. Why do we recommend black people go and major in the right thing and make lots of money?
I mean, you would want everybody to do that,
Chad, because we're racist motherfuckers. That's why we hate the black people.
Gotcha.
You're overthinking it.
I tend to do that.
I hope he does well. I hope Dre makes shitloads of money.
He's gonna do great.
He's gonna do fine. Yeah, I'm not worried.
He'll have no debt. He can, get educated however he wants to.
Who the hell is this?
Oh
God! Should I invite her on?
She's saying hi to somebody else. That's not us.
That's not us. Sticker shock.
That's not cool.
Man. That traitorous bitch. Not saying hi to us, her two favorite white guys.
Well, she does say she's tuning in while she works on loan.
Oh, we probably.
So I don't think we're gonna have to. We'll be her entertainment.
Wait a minute. Do Latinas work? I thought they just collect welfare and spit out babies. I thought that's all they did. I got. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's a WIC, center office only like 3 blocks from me. I don't think you've ever seen it.
Oh no, I got to give MJ credit. That gal kicks ass in the private sector, even though she's a Democrat. She actually works real hard. And I can't say why or where, but I heard something about her. I'm like, dude, you just went up in my estimation. For a Latina, for a female, especially of the not white race. I just saying, just pointing it out. I was kind of proud. I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. All right, I can't say what it is, but she kicks ass.
Are there still, with your Patreon, are there still the occasional new pictures?
No, she has this up because I've been busy. I had the book and everything. I'm sure, Mary Jo, if you want, send me some more pictures and I'll give you your cut and everything like that. But no, I haven't been pushing that. I don't know, dude. I went to Moab. I did hiking. I enjoyed it. And I come back to this shit. I won't lie. I'm kind of like a little depressed. I don't have a lot of energy, and I just kind of, I go for walks, you know, and I do this. I do asshole consulting, and even asshole consulting takes it out of me. Like I did 19 videos in one day.
I saw that.
Yeah. So and then after that, I'm kind of like, no, I'm going to sit in my patio and look at the rain. And if there are any cute Latinas that want to send pictures of their boobies to make me happier, you could certainly do that. I'm just saying, everyone.
Well, I mean, did you quit running? You were a good runner when you were here.
I'm a great runner.
Yeah.
I do, but there's incentive. Like when I was in Moab, oh gosh, it was like a dog let free. Oh, I was having a grand old time charging up hills. Then I get back to Minnesota, and already it's a depressing shithole. And then it's like people are burning their own buildings down. And I'm like, oh, I just don't have it in me. I really don't. And instead of fighting it and getting depressed, I'm like, no, I'm going to take it. It's a lot of internal thought, a lot of philosophy, a lot of meditation. And so walking helps, but running just taxes the body. And where am I going to run? What flats? I mean, it's just like dating a girl in the 7th grade. It's flat. There's nothing here. There's no mounds. So I don't have. I
mean, you saw what we did when you were here. You just run wherever you can run.
I know. And it was very exciting running around the graveyard. Well, I mean, come on.
It's beautiful in there.
Yeah, great. Let's go look at dead people. That's all right. Now look, see, Mary Jo, it's like my birthday got a compliment from the Grinch. I think she's 32. She did have a birthday recently.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry I didn't see that. Happy belated birthday, Mary Jo. I don't really go on Facebook a lot and notice everyone's birthday. I'm bad at that. So
you know why we're gonna click her out when she's not here anymore?
What's that?
Because she doesn't pay. Screw her. She
pays in other ways.
When I see some lingerie clad pics that I can use to profit myself off of and profit her, by the way, then I'll make some mention. But in the meantime, I don't play favorites. I don't play.
I mean, everybody wins in that scenario.
Everybody does. Isn't it so sad that if women knew the power they had through their beauty to invigorate men to do great things, to be a muse?
Yeah.
And they don't, because they're lazy fucks. That's really what it boils down to. They don't want to work. It's like if a guy like, how do we boost economic growth? How do I make my marriage better? How about you lose 20 fucking pounds? How about you be fucking hot? How about you suck his dick? See what happens then. Crazy doesn't involve tax reductions or fiscal policy or printing off money or monetary policy. What if women were just hot? I wonder what would happen to economic growth then. Wonder what would happen. This is me.
Well, I give Mary Jo kudos. She hangs with a rough crowd sometimes.
She does.
Hold her own.
She's one of the guys. She's really a cool gal. I do appreciate her. So.
See, what's the next one?
Ochoa.
We get down there.
These damn Latinos keep coming in here.
Stephen Ochoa for $2. Working outside in 100% humidity. Darn Republicans.
Yes. Wonder if he's along that strip where that hurricane went, or whatever, the tropical storm went. Right down the center of the United States.
Isn't that messed up? It's like, how else can 2020 get screwed up? You have a damn hurricane going through the...
Don't worry, 2020 is not even halfway over. We got plenty of stuff.
Like, what the fuck is next?
Can't wait to see what happens next, though. All right, that's it. Let's call it a day. We've been podcasting for quite some time. We made our money. You have your light beer. I'm going to go have a last shot of coffee because I'm almost out of the pot. Why don't you plug your shit?
Okay. Well, you can find my website. It's elkincpa.com. My dad and I, we collaborate on a tax guide every year. And the most recent version is on Amazon. It's called the Elkins Comprehensive Tax Guide.
How sexy is that? How crazy is that?
Remember, I'm still trying to convince my dad to put Mary Jo on the cover.
I've tried to convince your dad. If I can't do it, you certainly can't. Because at least I visit your parents. At least they know who I am. They're wondering, do we have a son at one time? They're asking like, no, I'm your son. Give me all the inheritance. That's what.
Well, they think you're hilarious because you curse. That's mainly my dad, but
I get a kick out of your old man finds my cursing the funniest thing. Like, he was in the military. He must have heard words before, right?
Yeah, but it's like when I'm visiting them, which I admit is rare, I'll sit there and I'll be like, Dad, watch me do this thing with Clary. And he just laughs every time. Every time you go on a rant, you're like, those fucktards. He's just like, ha, ha, ha,
Glad I can make Mr. Elkins happy. I like Mr. Elkins. I'm pro him. So. All right, so elkincpa.com. Then my books, How Not to Become a Millennial. June is what, Chad?
June is Worthless Degree Month, among other months.
Worthless Degree Awareness Month. It's the only month that matters. It's not, was it Gay Appreciation Month or?
Gay Appreciation.
What is the Pride Month? This is called Pride Month.
You know what's crazy about that? Like, you remember how, like, last year in June, it was everywhere. It was just getting everywhere, even years before. And I sent you that photo from Target.
Right. And I went viral because of that. Yes.
There's nothing. It's not even being celebrated this month.
I wonder why. Does the media have something more important to report on?
You're absolutely right. But I always thought this type of group would always celebrate no matter what happened. And there's nothing.
Well, they celebrate. Well, can they celebrate?
I guess not. Like, there's no rainbow flags anywhere.
Well, no. Okay, look, again, like the black community, we are not anti-gay either.
No, not
pro-gay community. No,
yeah,
I'm very libertarian, but I have a more, our trolling and joshing aside.
Yeah, it's a mere observation. Yeah.
Can they have a gay pride parade?
I think
because of coronavirus?
No, they cannot. Yeah, that got canceled.
Oh, okay.
But here's what gets me. They canceled that before, all those protesters and looters came out and were not social distancing. So none of that seems to matter anymore.
To the legitimately the non-Nazi, non-binary listeners to the show, you guys should throw a gay pride parade, just to give the thing. What's Jacob Fry gonna come arrest you? What's he gonna do? They're gonna disband the police. I think that the gay community should come out. Like, that would almost be the demarcation. Like, COVID's over, the gay people are out. Gay Pride, June.
Yeah,
I think so. So
just a weird time right now.
Yeah, I just don't want to see a fucking rainbow every 5 feet I walk. But which corporation was it that had the rainbows and everything? Like, hey, everybody, we're gay, buy our shit. Which company was that?
There were a few of them. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember one specifically? Because I think there were.
What's the biggest pussy corporation out there? Ran and hosted by Minnesotans, because Minnesotans are the biggest pussies out there.
I mean, Target has had enough.
Target, there you go.
Target.
Remember, you took the picture at Target.
Oh, right. I just didn't know if like all of them did that. The gay.
I don't know if they did that or not. It doesn't matter. The Target's a bunch of pussies anyway. So there you go. Betcha Pet Economics. That's the other book. That's it. Oh, DJ After Shark has $2. Yeah.
$2. Get a Sweet Pad and EP or Uptown. EP.
And the Eden Prairie.
Oh, okay.
The EP.
Is there an Uptown in Minneapolis?
Yeah, there's an Uptown. Yeah.
Okay, that's where my office is here.
I don't know if we really drove through that area. I don't think so. Oh, we did. We kind of touched it. I remember when I went Lake of the Isles, the old school properties, the old school houses. Yeah, that's where I went. And now Dre's going to keep us on for a longer because he's a dick. Yeah, see, look at that fucking asshole.
You're not done yet. Stay brave and stunning.
Yeah, no, we're going through these quickly. You should have Mary Jo do consult. I should.
Yeah, do at least one more.
She's busy. I'm busy. You know how it goes. I can't say what it is. Really proud of her. I was like, oh, okay. She's got shit going on. Good shit. So she's busy. I'm busy. Everyone's busy. There's just only so much of us to go around. All right. Take us out appropriately.
All right, guys. Toodles.